Hours of the afternoon, still holding on to positive territory, still holding on to nice gains. Let's be honest. We are off the highs here on these geopolitical headlines, but overall still holding on to nice gains following that CPI data this morning. Inflation, if you missed it, coming exactly in line with expectations. So I guess still work to do, but overall could be a lot worse. 0.98 right now for the S&P, better part of full percent. 1.5, it's actually a little bit higher right now. I'm just seeing for the NASDAQ, 1.52 on here, 0.35 there for the Dow. The sell-off in oil is kind of, it really hasn't been that volatile, but just kind of grinding all day to the downside, 3% now. 2.6 for Bitcoin, nice day for Ethereum, 5% there to the upside. That's how things are looking as far as the S&P is concerned. Little more red creeping back into this board as we head through the afternoon, but overall, again, could be a lot worse. UAL downside 4.8%. If you missed it this morning, they cut their full year forecast, sales forecast for UAL. So dragging all basically of the airlines along with it to the downside. Some of the other travel names, Expedia, their downside as well, 1.5%. For them, healthcare stocks, a little more red creeping back into these as well, specifically in the equipment makers. Pharma names, some of the hardware names also in pretty good shape overall. Retail, a little bit weak this afternoon as well. Outside of what's happening in the financial sector, it's been tech all day long, leading as far as strength is concerned. AMD, really nice day, 6.7%. New product launch today, as we talked about pre-market this morning. 4.5, meanwhile, for NVIDIA, also having a really nice day. Some of the software names also positive. FRC now 37%. It was better part of 60 in the early going this morning. Just crazy moves back to the upside for all of these. KeyBank as well, 11.5. Citigroup as well, 5.8% back to the upside. Both Citi and JP Morgan were rumored to be providing some support to some of these regional banks in an effort to help them out a little bit to get them through this, whatever it is. Meta, 6.8 to the upside here. A great day for Meta. We'll talk about why coming up here. Paramount's here as well. Take-Two, 2.2%. Just absolutely green across the board outside of the key areas there I was mentioning. 1% overall for the S&P 500. Pretty good afternoon right across the board, as I was mentioning. I wanted to talk a little bit about Uber there. Obviously, there's Schwab, Netflix we mentioned this morning. Yeah, Uber holding on to nice gains here. Could never get below 32.5 there this afternoon. We're talking about Meta, more job cuts coming through. Apple obviously coming through with that comment just before we came on at 2 o'clock regarding less travel, more cost cutting. They're going to be a little bit tighter as far as getting budget items passed if you are an Apple employee. So not necessarily going the route of job cuts, but still kind of tightening the belt a little bit, making sure everyone's in line. Let's get into what we were discussing this morning. If you were with us in the pre-market, a ton of things going on. Obviously, inflation was a big number that came out. Once that came out in line with expectation, we were focused on the Teslas. There was Meta headlines, there was Alphabet headlines on the AI side of things. Sean is going to lead us off this afternoon talking about, I mean, just a crazy, crazy move to be expected off this shareholder vote for AMC. Here comes Sean.
Traders, it's your trade of the day, and it's brought to you by Day Trade the World. A big shout out to Bears vs. Bulls in the chat. Big shout out to Ponzi Fonzie in the chat as well. Look, regardless of what happens today, this is AMC right now, 450 by 449. We get that shareholder vote. The reason why I wasn't short a little bit earlier on this move was because I had to go in there and pay for shorts. By the time we finally did that, here's the move to the downside. We actually noticed it right there when Brendan, again, thanks so much, Brendan, brought us the news of this AMC shareholder vote to the downside here today. So there's the break of 525. Here's the first halt. Here's the move back up, halted again. As soon as we reopened, I was just like, give it, give it, give it. We wanted to short 100%. So we actually got it twice. That's why it's a pretty big trade. Then it falls right back down, and then we started to plant purple flowers here on the way down, because when AMC does this, I don't know where it's going to start, where it's going to stop, or anything. But the problem here is we take the short with some protection up here near 525. So that first short is 514, then it goes to the downside. So it's like 10 cents, 20 cents worth of risk. So that's where we start taking our first fill at 5 again. Then it just starts to break lower. Then we start to get out at that first halt spot here of 485. 480. And by this point, we're already 10% in the money, 20% in the money. Then look what happens. It's gonna halt, and I take the bid on the halt right here at 465. So we're already huge in the money. I mean, you want to talk about one good trade, wait for AMC to halt and then play it that way. There it is right there. There's the halt. And then when we open back up, Merry Christmas, all the way down there to 440. Boom, downside, get out again, and then let it drop all the way back. We're still in this trade, but the problem is it looks like we are basing out right now around 440. So again, it's a pretty good trade. I would have loved to get out more down here, but again, while this is happening, it's a little bit chaotic because it is bouncing around here. So all of these are just little outs, just pieces out. You know, again, I can't get away from my scalping mentality. And on a trade like AMC, I'm pretty happy with it. But realistically, some of those scalps right in there around $5 probably should have been waiting for right there. That's where the majority of my outs are. We got a great out on that halt. And again, when you see a name looking like it wants to halt and you're in it, there's nothing wrong with getting a piece out if you're the right way, because what can happen is in this situation, it halts and opens up and we continue to go down more. But what if this happens where you halt all the way back up to the upside? So AMC with a lot of pressure today. We're still in it short, and it's your trade of the day.
All right, nice move for AMC. Nice move for APE as well, to the other direction, to the upside, in fact, for APE. If you missed it, they're going to convert APE to AMC shares, obviously. So that means here is APE 5.8% higher when AMC makes that move to the downside. I mean, it's right back now to essentially where it was, but we did get the spike to the upside. All right, a few things. First off, if you hear a weird noise, they're cleaning the ducts in the ceiling above us. So there's these crazy snakes, I guess, like going through the ducts right now, trying to clean these things up. There you go. Thanks, Fahad. Great shot there of said ducts. But it's really loud, and there's nothing we can do. So apologies in advance for the duct cleaning. But here's the note that came through during lunchtime there, if you missed it, on AMC. The shareholder vote set for today obviously gets approved. So APE going to become, or they're going to convert a portion of APE to AMC shares. So that's the move to the upside there for AMC and APE. Apple, wanted to kick things off with Apple. We got a few headlines throughout lunchtime as well on cost curbing, I guess is the best way to put it. No job cuts included in this, but they're going to make it harder for budgetary, quote unquote, budgetary items to get passed. They're going to cut back on bonuses. They're going to cut back on travel. There was a number of individual items, guys. So maybe the final step, remember, Apple's the only one left here that hasn't done an actual job cut right across the board throughout big tech. All the other ones have. So maybe the final line, I guess, before they go that route. But trying everything, I guess. But Apple, I mean, there was a little bit of a move initially on that, but nothing to really write home about.
Yo, what's up? We're live. How's it going?
Going good.
You still around?
Still here.
All right. Wow. What a big shout out to everybody there on the chat. We got my guy Arun right here, where we've just not what a difference, but we've still got both these two huge. I mean, we've got a couple bangers on right now. Wait a minute, you're in position, aren't you?
Yeah, I got to
reset
it. Yeah.
I just punch it in out of SIRI, but
I'm not wasting money doing
just
that.
in case you wanted to see
Yeah.
what he has. But okay, so me and Arun both have a couple nice shorts on right now. I did that to get in and out, but we did get filled just on Google right now. So we will talk. I mean, I'll talk about Apple here just quickly, but the whole market is falling down, and we have a great trade here now at $1.20 in the money on this Google short. A whole bunch of shorts up here. We did get stopped once, got right back in there. I was so mad when we got stopped out there, but there it is right now. Google tanking down to that downside. So as long as Apple holds 150, right, guys, that's the key area. And it looks like we're trying to do that right now, holding that 150. There it was there. We just spiked right back up right now. So nice little move back upside for Apple. I hope some of you did respect that 150 mark. But again, there it is to the downside. We're still up today. I don't know. I mean, the news here, delay some bonuses. So that's check. That's fine. Delayed? Whatever, those bonuses are coming. And if they're not, what are these guys going to do, quit? The next one there, well, I guess you can. There's been no better time, apparently, to look for a job. Hopefully, I don't need to look for one anytime soon here. Expand hiring freeze to more roles. So expanding the hiring freeze to more roles. So, you know, the market should, and generally does, like cost-cutting measures and things like that. So hiring freeze, though. So that's not anything about, current members or current employees or anything, but they're just not going to be looking, I guess, to get into some more jobs. So that's probably good. But yeah, you know what? It's a nice upside move here right now happening for Apple. But if you don't think this news is very positive, then you do have a great short opportunity right here, 150, 134. I already have some good shorts on. I'm looking to get some longs. We're still in this TQQ long. We've got, oh, by the way, Palantir as well. I mean, this was a banger to the short side. We still got on a piece of this Palantir as it's near the bottom as well. So some shorts working out, and I don't know if Apple's the right one for me at these levels. So I'm going to pass on shorting Apple. Just look for some better opportunities there. If anything, I feel like it's a long at 150. But I thought Apple's one of the names you have short.
And now you see it on the board, just because I just took the AMD short as well, so everything reset. I do have Apple on the short side, and for me, Apple was weak on the way up, at least the way it was moving up, because the market was so strong this morning. I was like, okay, well, we should get some strength out of the big index names. Apple wasn't participating, not to the strength that I would have expected to expect from Apple. So the fact that it actually got me this towards that 53 half and then broke right back down, for me, that was an easy short south of 52. And we already got some of this out because that was an easy 150, right? We got short right there. We got out right there. That's a $1.50 on half. Now I can let the rest play out. If we end up north of 151 and change, 151 half-ish, maybe 60, maybe 70, depending on how it moves up there, I'll just walk away from Apple. Essentially, at this point, I'm playing risk-free, looking for the breakdown through 150, because that would open up the door for another leg down on Apple. That's the play. I don't think you would start a short here unless it breaks down through 150 or it was near the high. That made sense. At these prices, not so much. So we are short Apple, Microsoft. Essentially, because I missed get my hands on the futures trade on the short side, I essentially just recreated something with the index, the largest index components with Apple and Microsoft. Essentially, that allows me to play a quarter of the NASDAQ with two stocks. So that's essentially what I've done, and both of them are doing well in the money. Microsoft, it is taking its sweet time with its move through 258. Let's see, futures market had some space. If we can't get back down there, I may have to walk on this one too and just take the small win for the time being. And then AMD, remember, we were long AMD all morning, right? And then we just got out of that one. Well, we got out of that on the drop, and then we also went short on AMD because I think, I'll get into it because I'm sure AMD's, we got a lot of other names to get through, but AMD, I'll explain that trade, but I am short on that as well now.
All right, let's keep the cost-cutting train rolling along here. We'll talk about Meta. Great day, 6.25%. Trying to clear these highs right now. Still some time left in the day, obviously, but or at least hold above these highs on the daily chart. After we learn about more job cuts to come from Meta in the form of, actually starting on Wednesday, in the form of more from the engineering department, apparently. We got a whole bunch of additional details while we were talking about this, actually, in the pre-market this morning. So it's been nothing but green all day, guys, for Meta.
Yeah. Well, there
was a small window. Yeah, there was a small window for that Meta trade, and that was in the pre-market, 184. If you're willing to step up and take that trade, and then the news came out not too long after, and then we were at 188, and then we just continued the rally all the way up to 194. And it's hard to get involved at this point. I know for me, it's just 184 or bust, and looks like we're not doing anything. This might develop into something over the next couple days, but at this point in time, you can't. Look, the risk. This is the thing that worries me about trades like this: is the risk on taking something up this high is ridiculous. Because you got to put your stop somewhere south of 187 into maybe 186. Do you really want to put up $6 knowing that the real break point is around 190? So I think you just got to wait on this one a little bit. If you didn't have it early, you're not getting it now, where it's not worth getting now at this point. But Meta, definitely a big mover. Nice setup, and now definitely setting something up for the next couple of days going into the rebalance on Friday. I'm curious how Meta is going to be readjusted, if it is adjusted on Friday.
Okay, what's up to Scott Hall and everybody there? I know it's Scott H. I don't know if your last name is Hall. I apologize there. Shout out to, and rest in peace to Scott Hall, wrestler, if you are not familiar. Okay, so FRC, unfortunately, guys, I just realized that I had to pay for, like I knew it was short sell restricted. I didn't realize I had to pay for shorts. Well, I mean, I should have realized that. That's pretty ridiculous. Needless to say that I didn't realize that. So I'm going to find out. You just asked, now that we've made this move down, is there a play here? Scott asked me, and I said yes. It's short. I tried to go short. I tried to hit that short 40 there and missed it. And then I was like, oh my God, it's because I don't have shares short for this name. And again, they're not even that expensive, man. It's for $250 for 1,000 shares. It's less than nothing here to confirm that. So I'm going to confirm that right now and try to grab some shorts here in FRC. But there's the break right now, and here's the move down. So it's just
say $2.50 for 1,000 shares.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cheap.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, so well, it's because this used to be a huge, like, this is a huge name, FRC.
Oh.
It's one of the banks that's absolutely tanking, but
Yeah.
you know, before then it would have never been unshortable or unborrable. It's just what's been happening right now. So yeah, so dirt cheap. So that's what we're doing right now. See, Arun, I almost got your attention there with the cheap sale of shares there. But all right, so I'm just going to wait for that $40 to come back. But I just want to talk about that right now as we're coming into another level right here. That's 36. I mean, maybe we need to do a little bit more work now that I mean, again, we've paid for them. It was such a small pay that, you know, honestly, obviously that $2.50, like that's not even going to be talked about. So let's just go over here and look at the 20-minute to see what we're dealing with here. We're right, that's 35, 36. So what I was getting at with that paid stuff is that if I don't trade it, I don't trade it. I won't even feel that bad about it. But I'm looking at maybe 36 or 37 break lower here. I mean, you know, let's be perfectly honest. The problem with this trade is going to be the halt and when that happens, right? So it looks like it's probably going to halt any time now. It just needs to go a little bit more, and then we get that halt. Unfortunately, we don't have halt bands on our system, so I can't really tell where it's going to halt. And I really don't want to like punch the short. Is it going to halt now? Yeah, this might be the halt band right here. No, well, it's got to go down first. Okay, so that might have been it right there, the way they were stacking that bid, but it didn't go down anymore, so I don't know. But anyways, it needs to go down 10% there. All right, so I feel like a 37 break is a short opportunity. I'm going to try to do that. Remember, though, you have to go the other way. You have to get hit off the ask instead of being able to hit the bid, because obviously this is short sell restricted right now, being down 10% every single day or more. It takes a couple days for that to clear. If it stays up there today, should clear by tomorrow. What were we up or down yesterday? I think we were up yesterday as well, right? So, all right, so back up to 38 right now. 40 is a good spot for this, but let's just wait to see if there are any more halt actions on that. And then Meta, Brennan just mentioned here about Meta being you know, pretty much up all day. Yeah, it's been off to the races, but we did break at that 194, and again, you know, I shorted Google, but look at this, man, right into the top of Meta again right there. So, I mean, I feel like if you're shorting this name, you do have some decent cover right now on Meta. I'm still waiting for this FRC to do something. You know, maybe we short this 39 into 40 and then get out if we break 40. That could be something. Let's think about trying that short. I mean, it just bounces so much, man. Like, how many shares do I use? Short right now, 39. We'll try that against 40 on FRC here, guys.
Just having a look at Gitlab once again, still kind of holding where it was or where it had been for most of the day. If you missed it this morning, GTLB, their forecast was a mess. There was a volume spike there on Meta as well. There was just that one comment that came through about 15 minutes ago for Meta. It was just a reiteration of what happened this morning. But let's talk about Gitlab here. It was down more than 30% in pre-market. Again, the forecast, just a mess here, guys. Never really able to recover any of it.
I mean, it was great that it was down that much. If it only had traded that action after the open, because this is what you got. This is a 30-minute chart, and you got nothing. I mean, $3. I'm going to say $3 is nothing. The reason being, yes, it looks like it's, I mean, if you go dollar by dollar, yeah, it's a whole lot. But in terms of movement, you really can't do a whole lot with this kind of movement. What are you going to do? Go for longs or shorts? Where? We barely got above that 33 to confirm the upside, and we refused to break through 30 after the market open. So, like, you really can't do anything. I have an alert set out at 28 where I would get interested on GTLB. But this is the type of trade where it may not be the day of trade. It might be a couple days to set up, and then you get going. So at some point, we're going to get some resolution to this action. It's not going to keep going this sideways for a while. Or, I mean, it could, I guess. It could be surprising. But at some point, we're going to get some sort of action, whether it's either to the upside through 33 and back towards maybe 40, or we are actually going to break down through the 30s and go towards that low that we put in the aftermarket yesterday, south of 28 and change. So there's definitely some potential, just not today. It's you set the alert, you leave the alert as is, and whenever it comes in, that's when you pay attention to it, because I don't see myself getting involved unless that specific event happens on Gitlab.
All right, unfortunately right now I'm just all about First Republic as we shorted again there at 70. I mean, we're gonna get blown out at 40. It looks like ever since now, it just seems like it wants to calm down and not go back down to the downside right now, off making that bottom pretty much 37 flat. So for me, that's the risk to reward. We're short right now at 24s right now. So if we lose, it'll probably be about $1 with slippage, breaking back through 40, but here we go. Our stop is in at 40, so that'll fire off there once it breaks and we're gone. I'm bidding 37 flat in case we do get a crazy flush down to that level. That's the kind of risk, there we go, shoot. That's the kind of risk reward that I want to go, but yeah, we're a little smaller on this. We didn't use our 1,000 shares or anything on that one. There it goes, right back up to the upside. So we'll go 0 for 1 on FRC. It's a small hit there, but again, just looking at that 40 level, I still want to be on it. So I have it up there on the side. That's a pretty small hit there. Like, what's going on there at 34? Was that just... all right, they tried to take it down. Look what's happening at 34. There's like an auto buyer there that won't let this thing go down. 35 also holding on the ask, but I almost feel like the bid is, okay, I almost feel like that bid was holding a bit better there. All right, it's gonna break. We'll try the short, yeah, shoot. All right, I'm gonna get out now, 41 break, and that's it. I just saw it there. Thought that, I mean, we're not even getting that bad slippage, actually, after all that. But okay, now it looks like it wants to go back up to the upside. I thought maybe that wanted to hold, but now we're going back upside now. So we'll try another short right here at 70, but it looks like we are trying to get blown out to the upside, breaking through 41 again. So we'll go 0 for 2, and there you go. See, if I don't pay for shorts, then I don't lose a couple cups of coffee here, but that's okay. We'll see if it wants to go back down to the downside here. Sorry, I have it up on my other screen. I don't know why I have it up now here as well. We can watch it right now. But all right, we're short now. We're short at 40.41s off losing. Actually, where did we get at? We got out at 40.14, so we lost 80 cents the first time. Let's see if we can make a little back, but it looks like it's trying to get going here on the upside. And we do have a buyer here in the 30s. There's a nice little offer. Let's see if we can get, I mean, who cares? The size is going to get eaten up, man. 92 million shares today on FRC. It looks like it wants to go up here. So, you know, that bottom looks to be pretty legit there. We're going to take 41. There it is, just a matter of seconds. And we're out again. Small hits, but yeah, still hits, nevertheless there on FRC. I'm still going to try it though, but maybe now we just wait for a halt to happen.
Just watching a couple of comments coming through on this banking group as well. House GOP leaders saying that they want or are suggesting anyways that U.S. officials guarantee all bank deposits. So across the board, all bank deposits should be guaranteed again from the GOP. There was also a S&P downgrade of the credit rating for FRC specifically that came through to negative from positive, suggesting that there might be more outflow to come as far as deposits are concerned. There was a note that was being circulated during lunchtime as well regarding RBC, possibly interested in some of the assets of FRC. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's revisit AMC and APE. Still lots of people talking about this. Huge move opposite direction, obviously, for AMC or APE shares, depending on what you're looking at. Single day or largest single day drop for AMC in 6 months. So shareholders approving converting AMC shares to preferred stock, APE essentially, so it's going to go the opposite direction. Then they also approve this 1-to-10 split as well. So, I mean, going forward, what can we look for here, guys, as far as opportunities? APE, as we saw, a big move up, comes right back down. AMC still hovering around day lows here.
I mean, unfortunately, I mean, it sucks because I mean, I know there's a lot of apes out there and you know, trying to hold this stock and waiting for the moon. But like when you're talking about splitting and all this and changing so many different share structures, and I have to be careful what I say because I don't know the story as well as Brendan does, or you know, some of you other shareholders out there, and I don't want to get like, you know, oh, trying to spread something that's not true. But I mean, I'm holding a very, very small piece right now. I took advantage when the volume was really high. Now the volume's kind of dying off, so it is retracing really nicely back off that bottom of 440. So maybe we found we didn't find anything, but maybe it found a bottom right right there. We were able to find that bottom, and that was just kind of fluky. But it looks like we could have found it again right there at 430. So the question that Brendan asked, though, was what does this mean moving forward? I don't, we saw Bed Bath & Beyond and a couple other names there trying to raise capital there. And it's sometimes it's kind of like, when you approve the sale, it's kind of I don't want to say a last-ditch effort, because like I said, man, I mean, there's people out there that know a heck of a lot more about this than I do. And it's just, we're right down there. I feel like the next time you see this $4 mark, it's not going to hold, and then that's could be all she wrote after that to the downside. But again, and I don't mean to say that Bed Bath & Beyond, that AMC is by any means a dead stock. I think it's going to be great to trade, and there might be some great opportunities now moving forward on this name. But for me, not much happening right now on AMC. I would just play the short. You're down 18% today. And honestly, that $4 mark is pretty ominous. And when it gets to there, we've battled there a couple minutes in late February, or I guess it's beginning of the year, early January, right there. And then we blasted off to 8. So you could still get another move like that. And if it's going to happen, I just wait. Wait for this name to get down to $4 before making any actionable moves. That would be my advice. Take it for what it's worth. I don't know what that is, though. But right now, I'm going to remain short on it. And we've seen this before. Let's see if it happens again. Carvana's made huge moves. Bed Bath & Beyond huge moves as well on news like this. Let's just wait to see where we go. It could be better tomorrow than it is today, but for now, I still think the short is good.
Yeah, I don't trade it. I also don't care about it. So we'll just go to the next one there, Brendan.
Just pulling that back up here. Market trying to tick higher here, guys. Oil, on the other hand, session lows ahead of the close here in about 3 or 4 minutes. The pit session close, obviously, down 4.2% right now for crude oil on these Russian headlines. Crazy, crazy story. 6%, if you missed it, a Russian fighter jet essentially knocked a U.S. drone out of the sky, it sounded like, flew above it, dumped fuel on it, and then basically ran into the propeller of the drone, so the drone crashed. Anyways, 6% here for Uber, guys, trying to hold up at this 32.50.
This drone got pooped on in the sky? Huh.
I don't really understand.
I mean, that's strategic. That's pretty cool, to be fair, to get that coordination in, to dump some fuel and all that stuff. Anyways, going into Uber. Uber was one of those names that we were talking about this morning. It was in the rundown this morning, but Uber hasn't done a whole lot. It was limited space to the upside towards 34, and I'm not surprised that I had no trades on it. Remember, if it got cheap enough, we would kind of make a trade on it. Never did. I mean, it trickled down. It was trading around 33, low as 32.40, 60-cent range. I know Uber's like a name that you can trade when it's like got some action, but it seems to have gone quiet intraday-wise. I know going back, what day was it, the 10th? It actually was moving when it broke 32. That's a trade. Day like today, I'm not surprised that I had no trade on this, even though we were looking at it this morning, because it has been absolutely quiet to start the day, and even now it's just bouncing off those 32.40s, and it doesn't seem like it's doing a whole lot. So a lot needs to be done on Uber. Maybe back at 35, I'd get involved on Uber as it expands through the upside, but something really needs to get going on Uber for this to become a tradable stock, because it's very difficult to trade something that's got a very tight range.
All right, yeah, I don't have anything to do here on Uber today, and I agree with Arun, man. When it's not moving, it's not moving. We looked at that when it was up 7% in the beginning of the day, and it's still up 7%. So, yeah, there's probably more to look at right now. Are we done? Okay, that's it. Uber done. Yeah, people want to know if you want to go long on Russian air pilots due to their accuracy right there, but we cannot do that. Types of drones, not something new. Okay, yeah, people talking about the drone stuff there. I don't know enough about that to figure it out. Meta right now, though, back to 193. I almost said 196. 196 is that high, but I just look, yeah, 193. So a huge move again, right there off VWAP. So, I mean, Meta came in again and, gave you that VWAP trade to the long side right there. If you wanted to be really waiting for 191, of course, you would have gone long in the 40s or 50s, maybe even 192. So it's a nice move back up now on strength for Meta. All right, so again, we're in all the names now. We got a great fill. We're almost out of our last trade now, and that would be Google as it's making a move back up to the upside. I don't really want to short this name until we get back into the 93.50 area. So we do have one small piece right now on Google. So if you're noticing that name in, it is small, but we did get a nice piece right there. And then most of our outs are right here at 93. And again, we talked about this earlier that what my goal sort of was to get better as a trader is to hold onto stuff as a short. So we actually did really well on Google, which now Google is my #1 stock pretty easily today as well. So no doubt about that. And look, again, something as a trader that you're really going to try to put in your pipe is the ability to go the other way as well. Like we were long Google early off that AI news, long there, long there. This is really the trade that made the money. Well, both of these trades did. And then when we saw it sort of die down a little bit here off of 94, then we started to go short. And now we're going to figure that out because also the market also gave us the short back down in, right? So, when you're trading stocks that follow the market, you're going to have to sort of do both work on that, both the market and the stock, and have a quick look. And sometimes sometimes they'll give you the answer with each other in that. All right, so we are short FRC. This time we're short at 41. And look, now we're sort of, again, we took a couple small hits. They're hits, but we can make it back. I mean, I just need this thing to get back down $1, and then we're pretty much going to be there. But let's see if that does happen. Right there, we have 41.50. Finally, we have some lines that we can sort of trade off of. Look, this is a 50 period, and it really hasn't broke it until one little candle to the upside there at $45, where we broke it to the downside, and now we're finally coming in again. So that's 41.50 there, and we're short 41. So I was going to give it that break to the upside in order to be wrong. We'll see if it can come back in. I do have a bid right here at 39, which will give us that $2, which puts us back into the money on FRC, but that has to happen first. So right now we're going to watch this against 42. Again, we have the 50 period all the way to the downside. Up here, when stock's halting and we're starting to make some of these highs, especially around $50, that this line's not that valuable, but since we've been following it down, we might as well try it one more time right now. So that is FRC. What we're looking at on that name is a short. So other than that, Tesla, you were in Tesla already today, not shorted now, right?
I was in Tesla way early, though.
Yeah, way, way early, but you're not.
That was a long, and I got out of that when the market was running and Tesla was doing absolutely nothing. It was stuck to 180. So I'm like, you know what? I'll take my 30 cents and call it a day. And Tesla decided to make a late session run right into that 183 and change target of mine. Perfectly fine. I was playing relative strength. In this case, it turned out to be relative weakness for me early. Tesla did make a catch-up move and made its way back to the target. But again, there's a lot happening here on Tesla. And somebody mentioned that there's a lot of options action around 180, which makes sense why Tesla doesn't want to get too far away from that 180. So I do think underneath 180, there could be a potential buying situation here if we get too far away from that 180, knowing that now, and knowing that there's previous resistance up there that we could actually catch a nice bid if we got a decent breakdown underneath. So that's still on the table. Today, clearly, it took some time, got going late, and then came back in. I'm going to keep an eye on this level. It is a big index name, so I do want to keep an eye on this level and see if there's an opportunity to catch some buys underneath 180 and try to take it back towards that 180 level. But for today, it has gone quiet. It's up 4%. It's actually the third highest leader in terms of the top NASDAQ names. So you got Meta up 6.5%, NVIDIA's up 4%, 4.04%, and Tesla's up 4%. So clearly it's got some strength, but it seems like a lot of it was, most of this market, it was in the pre-market because of the CPI data and what we did before the market even opened, right? So here we are, up 4% on Tesla and still sitting above that 180. There's going to be a trade, whether it's today or not, highly unlikely today, but there's going to be a trade somewhere around that 180 as we come back in.
All right. I was just talking about First Republic a little quickly here, and we have that same trade again on. I mean, we just shorted that 50-period break because, again, it's into 42. So we got one break before and then moved back down. So we short just a little piece there. It's not a huge one because, again, we haven't been reading this thing right. So we don't want to like average into this thing until we're just wrong again. So let's just wait now. We have our price is 41.07. So we've taken a couple hits and they've all been about 50 cents or $1. Worth of that, but I'm just going to try it one more time into this name. I mean, some of the news that's coming out, Brandon just brought it to us, seems like it's better news now. I mean, it's kind of the same stuff about how, the deposits are insured and this and that. I mean, I haven't really seen anything that's, really been going to change, but this has been such a dramatic move today. Like, just to think that we can get $1 on this or $2, I mean, we should be able to, right? This name was at $54. Okay, here we go. Now you're starting to come down. So now all of a sudden, we were short at 41.10 there. It just touched 40.60. That almost put us where we need to be on the name. So hopefully we can come in. I'm wondering about a 40 take. I was still sitting here, and I don't want to scalp in and out of this thing like so super fast like we've been doing. A 40 take would give us that $1, which would be nice. I don't know if that's going to come through. I'm still bidding this 39 flat or so. I feel like now that we got an average price, maybe we can go to 39.50. Let me just cancel that and go. Now, I mean, I don't know. We might not get down there, so this might not matter. But let's just put a bid there in case it does flush on us instantly downside. But right there, we could have just had, 60 or 70 cents. And again, we've sort of, it's hard for me. I don't normally trade these kind of names. So like when I'm looking at this support level of $40.50, like even right now I say, okay, well, maybe we should take a piece out because again, it's right there. Even though we wouldn't be able to make any money if we took it out, the spread is still, once it gets moving, it just was 30 cents. Let's see if it can come back down now. There we go. So now we're almost, now we're in the money $1 if we take the bid, which puts us right back to where we need to be on the stock. Let's see if we get a 40 break, and then maybe we can get that 39 and change. But there's the break right now on FRC. Remember where we're short, guys. It's 41.08. That's where we're short. That's what's on board here. So let's go. Nice little move back down in for FRC. So we're on that bid, baby. Don't stop at 66. We were at 55. That would be dirty if you stop right now. I'm debating getting on the bid just in case for some reason, don't do it. We had made everything back right there. I saw the net just came in. Okay, so, all right, Serenity now. Hopefully we get another drop down there. We can get that fill. We are 10 cents away from getting a fill on a stock that's moved $20 today. So hopefully that comes back in. That 10 cents isn't our evil, arch nemesis there. Let's see if it comes back in. We just had it right there. One more time and we'll try it again.
Yeah, and that's at this point in time with the market, as much as there was like a small window for action in this market, right? This was when it just completely fell apart. It wasn't even the long, because the long was so tame that it was right about here. What is that? About 1245, where it just completely fell off from the 60s. You got a burst of action here, all the way down to the 20s, low 20s. And then, yeah, we went back and forth a little bit. But that chunk of time between 1245 and about 120 is where there was volatility, there was action. Now it's right back to what it was doing earlier, where it's just building up levels and trying to figure out what it wants to do. Earlier it was drifting up, or not even drifting. Yeah, it was drifting up. I call that a drift. It was decent movement, but it was tame, right? And now we're starting to get back into that idea of, oh, are we gonna kind of go back up a little bit after putting in a nice base sub 20? It's hard to start positioning into trades now. If you didn't have it early, it's hard to get involved now because you could either go up a good 10, 15 points, or this could go right back to 20. And in that situation, I just try to stay away from trying to get involved. I am short Apple. Like I said, we made $1.50 off the initial drop, that move. But I am going to get out fairly soon on the rest of this. I'm still going to walk away with 40-something cents on the second portion of this. The first portion makes $1.50, so I average about, $1 on the entire position. I'll take that. And then we've still got AMD and Microsoft. Microsoft hasn't done anything. I mean, it was good. It was up $1 and change at one point, and then just started drifting back up. Essentially what I'm doing now is I'm gonna say these index names, the way I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna say these index names don't make it back towards their highs. So if we put in new highs without the futures putting in new highs, then I deserve to get taken out of these trades. So essentially what I'm doing is just Microsoft and AMD will be held on the short side until we take out the tops. Apple is going to be managed out, so if we keep going up a little bit more, I have a reason to get out of that one. But we'll keep the other two and see how far we can take this. Mind you, AMD was a great long this morning, right? We were long 86, got out like 87.20, and then we got out around 87.30 something in the afternoon. So this trade started at like 9:45, ended at about 1:15, and then around 2:10, here I am short on AMD on the stock that I was carrying for most of the day. So You got to learn to switch sides at times.
Yes.
And at this point, I'm going to say AMD has topped out. The reason why AMD, I'm going to play on the short side after being long all morning, is this area. Remember, when we were long at 86, I said I'm going to target this area here. This is where the first target was, right through there. Well, once we got above it, we should have expanded. What do? We struggled to get past 88. So essentially what that tells me is that this area is actually expanding in terms of resistance being up top. It's a lot bigger than it was showing initially. So now that I have a reason to go short on this, I refuse to give up on this until we either take that top out or we actually come back in. I think my targets are waiting at like 85.5 or something like that for the first exit on AMD. So that's kind of the play. It was the first target, which then failed to get through, then gave me the sell signal to get out of my long and then go into my short. And here we are looking for that short to come on down. Right now it's flat. It's out at 1 penny, right? So it hasn't done a whole lot, but I still got an hour, just under an hour and a half to get this going, maybe $1.50 to the downside to get paid out on this, because I do expect the sell side resistance to hold up. And if it doesn't, they're going to need to force it through that top end and confirm that, you know what, they've actually broken this for me to get out of my short. Until then, we're holding on.
All right, First Republic. Yeah, I mean, it is about managing your trades a little bit now. It's 241 as, you know, this market's been on the downside, and now we're starting to break below on the 50 period. So we're going to hold on to our Google short, our Palantir short, our FRC short, and our AMC short. So all the names are short right now. We do have the TQQ, which is just a small position. Still have that 20% of this one. Trying to see, like, we should have got out when it broke the 200 there. Wasn't here. It's still not an excuse. I mean, I could have put an order here to break 22.60. So we should have been out of that. So we give ourselves back about 20 cents worth of a hit that we know we should be out of the TQQs. But we're just going to try. Actually, it's not even 20%. What am I talking about? It's less than that, about 15% on that one. But I just want to go over FRC because you're going to see maybe a different price and a different position right now for it. So I just got fed up right there. We missed that by literally 10 cents, which is, now that I look at it, less than 10 cents. It's showing it printed at 61. So I got out right there at $40.16 for that $1 on piece of it. Now let's see where we go on the next part of this trade for us here on FRC. We still have that out up here at 42. If it breaks it, it breaks it. But that's sort of what I'm looking at right now on FRC. We're going to hold this until a 42 break. And then if we come back in, I don't even have a 39 bid now, I have a 38 bid. So we're going to wait to see if we get filled down here at 38. Just waiting to see if there's any news that's going to come through or whatever. I mean, you know, we'll wait. I mean, do people really want to hold this paper overnight? I mean, if you did yesterday, then it was all good, and you're able to make a lot of money on that trade. But you know, 2 times the charm. We'll see into the close. As long as we don't break 42, we're in this name. Okay, that's it. I mean, we talked about it respecting the 50 period again, right there. It already broke it once and came back in. There's the break there, and that's what I waited for, right? We're not short at the break. We're short at 80s here when it did break, and we got a little bit of a bump higher. So that's what we took as that breaking spot. Amazon was really traded well long today off that 93 bottom right here again, and then we screwed around with it at 94. Eventually it broke, so that was kind of in and out there with nothing. We don't have that ultimate high, but those were really good. And then so we missed it when it came back here to 93.40, 93.50. You know, if you're looking for a trade, I think Amazon can come in and around there. Lots of background noise. I don't know where that's coming from. Fahad, how does the sound? People are saying there's a lot of background noise. I don't know if that's any good or not right now. What's Brendan trading? I don't know. We have to ask him if we go back to him. We could do that when he's going to throw it down. They're going to lay it down at your 12K this week. Yeah, I mean, are they going to be Reggiano there? Are we going to get back to 12K? I don't know, man. I mean, that CPI came out as expected today, and the market's bumping up 1.63% right now. So, I mean, something bad has to come. When is PMI? Tomorrow?
PPI is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, so, you know, that could send it the other way, maybe, but if that's another stronger number, and what I mean by stronger number, just stronger for the fact of a rate hike, or imminent rate hike only being 25 points instead of 50, possibly 0 coming through. I did hear that there was, I don't think it's true, I don't think the Fed really had anything to do with Silicon Bank, SIVB, or FRC, or any of these banks, but they're talking about sort of the fact of where the rates went forced a lot of the hands of some of these regional banks. So I'm wondering if the Fed sort of feels a little bit of blood on their hands and might tighten up, per se, a little bit on what they're doing. So let's just refresh this. This is the Fed Rates Fund tool that we, quite frankly, look at all of the time. And we're going to have a quick look right now at that one more time. Wow, okay. This has changed a lot here today. I don't know how much to believe in this anymore. You talked about data, Arun, that data is going to change this all the time. This was 80% or something even higher than that this morning. Now you're back down to 67%. So when we looked at this earlier, it was much better in the fact of 25. But you know what's changing? It's actually getting better for the market. And I'll tell you why, because 50's not in play. This is 0. Or 25 for March 22nd. 8 days away, we find out what these numbers are all about. But it's getting stronger, guys, for no rate hike at all. So yeah, that's, I don't know, 12K incoming. Not if those get any better, man. I think a 0 rate hike probably just sparks it moving forward again. So I would say no, man. I'm backing away right now from that 12K. But we'll see. Could still hit. Who knows? FRC back to $41 right now. Thanks for the question. I mean, I think everyone's guess is as good as the next person's on what this Fed wants to do.
The thing I have with that Fed watch tool is that, like, information is great, but, like, how do you use it? Right? Oh no, okay, now the Fed's doing a quarter point or expecting a quarter point. All of that doesn't matter until the Fed actually makes a decision. So I personally would look at that tool the day of the Fed rate meeting, or when they decide to, the 2 p.m., 1:30, pop it up. What's the expectation? Okay. Now, all I care about, is it going to come out a surprise or not based on what people were expecting? Then I know how to shift, right? If it's a complete opposite of, 80% of people are expecting a quarter point, and then all of a sudden the Fed comes out with nothing, that's a surprise in a good way for the market, so that's a rally. That's when I can use that information, but having that information and checking it all the time and be like, oh, it's changed to this, it's changed to that, like, how do I use it on a day-to-day basis? There's no way to use this because the only time it actually comes in handy is on the day of the Fed. So why check it every single day until you actually get to that point? That's the way I do it anyways, where I just want to know how much of a surprise is it going to be compared to what the expectation was going into it, right?
Right.
And with today with CPI, tomorrow's PPI with retail sales, is that going to be a mess? That's going to change the number again. For all we know, it's down at 67%. By tomorrow's close, it could be back at 90%. Has that changed anything in how you trade? Not really. But I just think it is just, in terms of how to process information, there's so much you already look at. Why not prioritize certain things over other things when you're actually dealing with the market? And I think this specific watch tool is handy as a relative surprise thing, a situation, when it comes down to the actual Fed and the day of the meeting. And going back to a question that somebody in the chat was asking, why would I choose to short AMD over NVIDIA? To be fair, AMD is available too on the short side. It was just AMD was stock that I was trading earlier. It was a cheaper short, and it made sense to take the trade because I was focusing on the level. NVIDIA, on the other hand, you got 244 into 245 as your breakout point. It could still turn, but what's your risk on AMD, or not AMD, NVIDIA on the short side? If you maybe south of 240, you're putting up $4 or $5 in risk. It's the exact same, it almost looks like the same chart, but I just think the AMD chart is a little bit cleaner. It's an area that I was focused on. It's not like I chose one over the other. It's just, I was focused on this one more today. So I was able to identify the areas and able to kind of focus on, oh, you know what, we're failing this area. I know this is a spot that I was looking at earlier, and then that got my attention. I put the alert out. NVIDIA, I don't even think I have any alerts on NVIDIA. I don't. So that's why I kind of missed it. Both are valid. One was just cheaper for me, so I took AMD because I was trading it this morning on the long side.
All right, I'm going to a couple new trade alerts right now. So we're going to go bullish right now. We're going to turn around a little bit here. Just noticing that we're going to take our last piece out here on Palantir if we break above this 87, 88 level. I mean, first mistake of the day could be happening right now. We did get out of our Google, so we'll go awesome or whatever. Money. Didn't mean to hit that one for it. But yeah, Google was a great trade. We just ended, and now we're long. So we just longed Google. Right now, we're long at 28s. I want to get longer down here at 93, where this 50 period is. And look what we've sort of done. You know, kind of smiley face this thing all the way back up to the upside right now. So Google long, we're starting to break a little bit higher here. I thought anyways. Potentially not. So yeah, this could be a mistake waiting to happen here for me on Google. But for now, we'll wait, whoopsies, and see if it's going to be the right trade here now for me on Google. We're going to wait for a backside move, hopefully back to the upside on Google now. But if we can get a fill, there it is. So now we got the 20 fill and just waiting to see about a 93 right there. That's 93 flat. So we'll get out if we break 93. That wick is 98. Something like that back down for Google. Hopefully we don't have to worry about it, but for right now, we may have to. So that's what we're doing right now on Google. So let's just continue with that long. We still are short AMC, waiting to see if that one does crank a lot lower than that. And then our FRC is just, I'm glad that we decided to get out there after getting missed right there. That would have looked pretty sweet to have that trade. There's no doubt about that, but we don't have it. So now we got to wait on that one. So we'll wait to see if we can get something out on that. But for right now, that's all that I'm trading and looking for a better Google long near 93 if we can get it. We're long at 23s right now.
Yeah, this market. Oh, by the way, update. I am out of Apple. Apple actually, they got me out. It ticked above 51.60 and change, so I kind of got out there, and I'm okay with that. Apple, we made, like I said before, we made $1.50 on the first portion, made about 40-something cents on the rest of it. So we're close to $1 on average there. On Apple, we're still carrying the other two. We've still got AMD, we've still got Microsoft, both of them. AMD's kind of flat, Microsoft's out 20 cents there, and we're just waiting on the market, really. The market has gone quiet since it made its big move to the downside. Now it's trying to make trying to get back above 35, maybe to 40. I don't see a path forward in terms of taking a trade on the futures today, based on the way it's moving right now. I mean, it's very hard to figure out where you would go with this. I mean, maybe back to 50. The issue with the futures is that the risk has to make sense. Sometimes you can look at the chart and go, oh, you know what? It could be an easy trade if you just went long here. This is a 30-minute chart. There's probably some support at 20. Go long here, put the stop there, and see if you can't get it back up. If you actually do the math on a trade like this, and I think you have to be a lot more price sensitive because of the leverage, is that going long here and putting the stop down here could be 40, 50 points. 40, 50 points times $50 a point. That's extreme per contract. That's high leverage, right? Are you willing to put that on the table just to get it back up to here? It's not as simple as, if you look at a stock, you're like, oh, I can put up 50 cents, get $1. In the futures world, you do have to be a lot more price sensitive. I can be a little bit more flexible with the stock side of things, but with the futures, I got to be more sensitive to prices. And I don't like the risk profile for a trade like this. Not at 30. It's sitting right in between both of these. Remember, initially we had 45. They grinded through there and got into the next zone and then fell off. If anything, there was a trade up here. But again, the way they moved it up there kind of, for me, voided the trade because I would be going against a strong trend to go and respect the current existing resistance level, and I wasn't willing to do that, not on a day like today, not on a day where we've seen it just slowly trickle up. So I passed on that trade, and here we are back down to a situation where you can't do anything with it, and that's perfectly okay. There will be another trade, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's the following day, there will be another trade, and I think that's what people have to keep in mind going forward, is that even if you miss the one today, even if you miss the one, couple today, there's another day, there's another trading day. Just save your bullets for then. And I'm sure we'll have another trade at some point tomorrow that I can take in front of you guys as well.
I was just going to say, like, just get better every day, right? Like, understand what you're doing, get one piece better every single day, and you'll be surprised at how much, you know, you can learn, and then how your strategies, I mean, I've talked about it all the time too, how my strategies have evolved and changed. I hope that yours have as well out there, just from watching us. And that's part of, you know, we talked about you not having social media and stuff, but that's part of, you know, what's really helped me is talking to a lot of you traders on social media for some of the ideas and some of the hints that you give me every day as well. So just try to grow, you know, as a team, and that's what we do here at Trader TV Live. And you know, I know Neil's used. Now he has the 50 period on his charts. He uses that because I was using it, and that's sort of what we're talking about back and forth there. And you know, some of his ideas as well about shorting stocks that have moved certain levels and areas, and you know, all just learning and from Arun, holding on to something maybe a little bit longer and using bigger time periods and things like that, which is why I have on my, you know, 1, 3, 20, and a day. It's too many. A lot of this is just for you guys. I have a 3-minute up here. This is the one that I don't really use too much, a 3-minute chart, but again, you know, there are, just gives me a little bit of a broader look because, you know, just zooming out, you can, anyways, I don't need to justify, it's more, I am more a 1-minute and then a 20-minute for levels, but yeah, definitely looking everywhere if we can try to get a little bit better. Okay, so I just wanted to say something, oh, it was Google. That's what it was. So we're on Google. Yeah. So we just got it out. So I'm just noticing right now that here's the long. We're long at 20, I think, or sorry, that's FRC short at 41.20. Google long at 22. So we're long at 22. We just took some pieces out, 36s, I believe, or 35s, and 32s. So it's not, you know, not huge trades like Arun was mentioning. Maybe the futures don't want to do a whole heck of a lot right now. I'm not going to go over it. Arun just killed it with that. So I'm going to put another piece at 32 out for Google and just maybe watch it. If it does fall in, you know, my next long is not until 93.10. So like right into here, if we come down, that's kind of where that wick is. But look what's happening now. Now the 50 period's at 93.10. So, you know, a break of 93, and I'm just going to get out. I don't even really want to mess with this that much. If it breaks lower, we could just get out and then not even worry about it. So that's probably a more aggressive strategy for me right now. That will try to implement there. But if it comes in, one more long at 93.10, then a break lower, and we'll get out of Google. But that's okay. We'll see where it goes from now. So Google out a little bit there. Now we'll have to wait to see if it pulls back. And just a quick check on FRC right now. We are short at 41.20, looking to see if it breaks lower. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of barcoding happening right here. I'm just hoping that Brendan, if he, there, I froze. Yeah, we're all froze. I don't know if you're, no, we're back. Okay, so there it is right there. I don't know if you froze there or not, but yeah, we just froze up a little bit there. So if you are part of our family, just hit a refresh like that and you'll get refreshed quotes, but that was a freeze right there.
I wonder, I don't even think this is it's a company-wide thing. I feel like it's something to do with our line. But they keep checking the line.
It was Obi behind just said he froze, you froze.
Yeah,
we're on different lines.
Oh, we're on different lines.
Yeah. Because Obi watches a lot of YouTube, so we got to make sure that we get a different line completely. And by Obi, I mean Fahad. Watches a lot there because, you know, he's got to learn how to dunk on people and things, because he's never done it before. He has to learn how to do it, right? Yeah, I would. But this guy, have you seen his hair? Nice haircut on Fahad there. It was that day when he chopped it off. I want to thank everybody again for that.
We had a whole conversation about it too, about his beard too, and then he trimmed his beard down too. Yeah, he's looking fresh now. Now he's got the short hair with the beard.
Like Outcast, so fresh and so clean, that guy.
There you go.
There. Yeah, okay, so we'll try not to halt to... Frozen again? Okay, so Fahad, you got to put something in our chat if you can't get someone to look at our line right now because we're freezing too much right now. So I can't, I'll have to look into this myself, I guess. All right, anything you want to talk about quickly? I got to get someone.
Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, I'm going to keep an eye on my separate platform. I wonder if it's actually just our internal platform that's freezing. But crude, man, we got to talk about crude. Wow. Remember this morning I was talking about crude and I was just like, oh, you know, crude has potential, but it's just stuck here and it hasn't really done a whole lot. We need to make a move through that 72. Oh yeah, we did. We got as high as 74 and change. And then at about 11:30 to 12 o'clock, down we go all the way through 72, got through 71, and we are sitting at 70.94. It's because the pit session's closed. It's not going to move a whole lot anymore. Electronics should be still open till Globex closes their stuff, but you're not going to get a whole lot of volume. So right now it's sitting just under 71 and expected to sit around that price going into the close. But damn crude, okay, this is going to be one to watch.
It's down 6%, right?
It's down 5.1% right now. It got through that 72, and now you've got to mark off this and wonder if there's a trade to be made here if it comes back up. 70 is obviously a big round number. That's one to watch as well. Expiration date on crude. Okay, no, we have time.
Did you freeze there, by the way, or no? Were you watching anything that was moving fast?
No, my
So
P-Pro 8
it
froze.
could have just been, oh, your P-Pro 8 froze.
My P-Pro 8 froze,
that's
but my e-signal did not.
Okay. I'm just trying to diagnose the problem.
Yeah, I think it's a P-Pro 8 issue. So here we are kind of going down through that 72. That's going to be one to watch on the way back up, 72 to 73. Definitely keep an eye on it. I'll have this marked off. I'll leave it here because we've been watching crude, I think, for the last couple of days. Yesterday, crude was down 5% at one point before it came all the way back up and closed down like 1 or 1.5% or something. And here we are down 5% again. And not this time, not intraday. We will close down 5% on the day. As we wait on this market, maybe it's making another leg to the downside.
Biden approved that Alaskan pipeline there. We'll get some more information on what's going down with crude. And I do have some good news.
Awesome.
The espresso machine is now working. Hallelujah. So we're going to go awesome one more time for that. And if you haven't subscribed yet, let's do this before we go to Brendan.
Hola, like and subscribe today.
By the way, Fahad, let me know when Brendan's is ready to rock and roll. I want to put that on here. Are we doing it? We must be doing a Brendan one, no? Yeah, okay. When that gets ready to rock and roll there. But look what's happening right now, Brendo, just before I throw to you. It is FRC right now. We'll go bang for that because here it is. We're holding this one. It is now $2 in the money. And all of a sudden, we positive on FRC right now. So nice move back down. I say that, yet I'm not out yet. That is the worst thing to say when you are not out of something. So possibly just jinxed it right there. But FRC making that move back down right now. So, what was small hits, now hopefully being able to hold this downside. I said I was waiting for 38s. Should we just wait for 38s, family? Or what do you think we should do right now as it's coming back in? Question, answer myself. We just took it out, or just put a bid right there on FRC. See if we can get it out right now. We'll put 250 in our pocket. See if we could take it on this flush. Last time this happened, it burned me and was ripped right back up. So we have enough shares to take this out right now and then hold a little bit for the dream. And there it is right now. We'll spin the money, because there's FRC. Now $3 in the money. We'll take a $3 win every day on this one. Let's go over to Brendan at the big screen. All right, it's desk.
Hey guys, 1 hour to go. Let's get caught up on what is happening with 60 minutes left in the trading session here. Still trying to hold on to gains. It was all about the CPI number that came in at 8:30 this morning. And let's be honest, ended up being a bit of a non-event. But inflation data still pointing towards maybe smaller rate hikes to come. Not necessarily a pause just yet, but we might end up with a quarter point coming up next week on Tuesday. 1% right now, 1 full percent for the S&P 500, about half. It's been there or thereabouts, around half for the Dow all day long. 1.6, 1 and 1 for the Russell, 1, 2, and 3,000. This was up almost 3% at one point today, so well off the highs. NASDAQ Composite and the 100, 1.4, 1.5. Still, for the 100 specifically, again, the idea of maybe a pause or even smaller rate hikes benefiting tech stocks. There was a note on Veru, speaking of Fahad, out around lunchtime today. This thing did absolutely nothing on this, but the company said they're going to go ahead, continue with their COVID-19 treatment, despite the FDA saying pass on that a little bit earlier in the year. GTLB, as we were talking about, trying to get back to session highs here, right at this 33.75, guys, which was that high this morning. Back over to you guys.
So, for everybody in the chat that said I should not cover it, that's okay. It doesn't matter. I covered it right there, and we still have a small piece, but there it is right there. we'll only have a third left of this, but that was decent cover anyways. Finally, like again, you know, you would have had to hear me complain that, oh my God, I didn't cover it. Now it's all the way back up. But that's not the right attitude when you're a trader. What you have to do is take positions when you start to see them. We've seen, like, that was a drop down there that on First Republic, you know, we've had big moves. I mean, can it go more? Of course it could go more, for sure. But again, I didn't really want to be in it. You know, if it makes this kind of a move down and then stops, you know, it's just take it out. Like, we had enough shares to do that. So when it came back in right there, we did take another piece out. So we are net positive now on FRC, which is going to be, you know, as the tail goes. We'll see if that still is the truth. But now I got to fix my stop. I'm still going to use the same stop, honestly, $42. Let's just hold it and see if it goes back up to the upside. So I am, like I said, man, I'm changing. I'm a changed man. Not really, but getting close to that level of trying to just get a little bit better as a trader. You don't have to change completely how you trade. Just try to adjust. Like I said, day after day, get that little bit better. Make sure that you're trading names that you're comfortable with, which is why you always see me go back to the well. You know, AMC, you know, I waited for this to happen. Actionable event right there on AMC. Since then, there's that 440 bottom. Like, again, that's some of the stuff that I'd look at. You know, we made a bottom there. Right, where was the bottom? Right back at past support. So now you're approaching this 470 for the first time. That's probably something to get out on. So if we break above 470, I think we could probably just get out of this AMC and see if there's a run in the end of the day. I'm actually going to use VWAP right now because there's been a lot of volume over there. I feel like this, where is it? It's upside right there. So let me just zoom back in a little bit. That VWAP should be enough to be, you know, legit enough, and it sort of coincides with those tops. So I'm going to put a stop right now at 480. If AMC gets back up to 480, we're going to get out of that one. So that's going to be a stop spot right there for me. FRC all the way back to 40. I'm going to adjust my stop now, Arun, and just make sure that we can get out of 42. It's like, it's for my full default. So now that we've gotten out twice, let's go back there and adjust it. I'm just going to do it quickly here in case we get a huge move. As we know, this name could halt in 1 second one way, and I don't want to push long more shares than I need to. So there it is. We've adjusted our order, and now we're good to go. But so far, so good here today. Your positions short
unchanged. Yeah, so I'm sure you guys have watched me trade many times before, and you know how I trade, right? If I get into a position, I'm probably in that position for a while. It's not as exciting, but it makes money. So here we are, still up 38 cents here on AMD and about a dime here on Microsoft. Microsoft's done absolutely nothing, really. Went down, came back up to 59, now it's starting to trickle back down. This is part of it, right? And it just goes quiet, and that's okay. AMD starting to finally make its move back down towards that 86.5 and change. Let's see if we get some acceleration there. This market itself refuses to get back above 35. Okay, 35 to 40. We saw that earlier. And now let's see if it can actually get underneath 20 and actually hold underneath 20. That could be interesting, because if we can actually hold underneath 20, you got to wonder if 3,900 is possibility going into the end of the day. I mean, it's a lot to ask of this market, which has very, very much struggled for the most part to put in any sort of movement once it starts going quiet, right? It just trickles. It just takes a sweet time. So a 20-point move in the final hour, it's doable, but this market has shown that it's going to take some time to get it done. But we are going to hold up on the short side. Those two shorts, the AMD and the Microsoft shorts, we're just going to hold up and let it be and let it do its thing. But going back to what Sean was saying about, you know, getting better as a trader just every day. Every day, essentially, you guys are watching YouTube, I imagine, as one, either to learn to trade, to get ideas, whatever it is, whatever reason you have for watching this show. As long as you're improving day to day, there's one thing that you take from it, you think about it, you're like, you know what, that's something I can use, and you use that information. Whether it's useful for you, hopefully it is useful for you, but you take that piece of information and you make it your own, and you kind of integrate it into something where you can eventually build yourself into a much better trader. That's what this whole thing's about, really, right? This was meant to be an educational program for the internal offices, turned into a YouTube show, and now that's hopefully we're providing that kind of information for you where you can actually grow as a trader. And for us, for me personally, I'm just trying to trade, right? If you're watching me and you're like, okay, well, he's not taking a whole lot of trades, because I'm just trying to do what I do. I'm just having me doing it on camera, right? So going back to about the whole social media thing, whatever. I'm not on social media because I'm a pretty private person. I just do my own thing. I just want to trade. I'm doing it on camera, and here and there, if there's questions that I'm just like, you know what, I can actually answer that, or maybe I can help there, or whatever, and I can explain something. I'm open to it, right? And so that's why I'm going through the chat, looking at questions. Hopefully, I can answer most of those questions that are coming through there. And in the meantime, while we're doing that, make some money as well, because now we're starting to get that movement. There we go on the futures through the 20s.
There we go.
There we go, 18.5. That means these two shorts are doing well here. AMD now getting through that 86.50, accelerating. Can Microsoft get through that 258? Because that should open the door down towards 257 if we do get there. Late session push to the downside. Okay, I like this. I like the sound of this. I said 3,900. That was a lot to ask of this market, and this market says we'll accept that challenge.
Easily
and here we are now moving hard and fast towards that 3,900. Okay, market, I should have said this much earlier than waiting until now to say, can you do 3,900? But here we are now, $1 and change on Microsoft and 85 cents on AMD to the sell side.
Yeah, so good trade, Arun, for sure, as we'll flush down the market there. We got flushed out. We tried to Google log right there. And, you know, as we were talking over the last little while, we actually got a nice bump there and out the majority of them. But then we did take that other trade there at 93.09 and just got out on a 93.95, 92.95 break back down to the downside. So, yeah, that does hit downside. You know what's been pretty weak here? Look at this Amazon move. Pretty sharp. Right back into this level that we've been respecting before. I'm just wondering right now if we're really looking at a short here. The market has broken downside, obviously, right now. Right there, broken to the downside. Still up that 1%, but there's the break. Remember, we have the PMI coming tomorrow. Oil down 5% as well right now and still making moves downside. FRC is nicely down, back into 39 again, right where we got out the last time. Well, we got out last time 38.60, but back into 39. Palantir continues to be awesome to the short side right now, back at the day's low. And this was a name that we took a lot of shares on and definitely hit this to the downside. And still, we got out of a little piece there, but then it just kept on breaking down. And there's some more outs on Palantir, 88s, and there's another one at 80. And again, we just above all these lines, man. I mean, we were right there at $8. I was like, let's take a short against 8. It does break there. It literally went to 8 and didn't break, so we didn't get out. Kind of lucky, I guess, that it didn't go up a couple more pennies because we would have got stopped out. But hey, you know, luck favors the fortunate. I don't know what that saying is.
The brave, right?
Luck favors the brave?
Or the bold?
Bold?
Something like that.
Something like that. Someone in the chat will tell us exactly what, you know, why I'm being an idiot and don't know what that is. But okay, here comes FRC right back down. I don't have any more bids on this name, so all good right now. On yes. Let's go, man. Flush it down the toilet. And I feel bad because I know there's a lot of traders that took the shot on the long. Fortune favors the bold. That's a good one. What's up, the bold and the beautiful as well? Thank you. Now I will not forget about that. Fortune favors the bold right there. But, okay, I don't know if I'm bold. Okay, I was going to say, did I freeze again there? No, I don't know. Maybe I'm not actually freezing. I don't know. I don't know if it's freezing.
Mine's okay.
I don't know if it's freezing or not, to be honest with you. I don't know what's going on right now because it's like some stocks are moving and some aren't. Some. Are you guys? Okay, Brancos, just put it into IRC if you can because it's not our line. So if you can do that, figure it out. So there is some bursty quotes right now. We're going to try to figure that out. So I want to thank Greg and Brandon and Obi and everybody behind here for sort of confirming it. So no freezing on the stream. Okay, that's good. So all right, good. So we've done a lot of redundancies, which is why I'm asking about all these different freezes because we've gotten a second internet line that if something does happen to our first line, it will flip back over to the next line. So if there's any sort of freezing from YouTube's part or our internet provider, we should have like a little bit of a fail-safe in there for that. So again, thanks for your patience on that as we work through everything. But I was just saying, Amazon, right here, right now, baby. 93.60, 93.70, coming back into those levels. Now, it's not at the levels that we were buying at earlier, but it's into more support right here that we've already seen before. Now, I don't think we would have wicked down like this into that support again, but you know, if you're getting close to 93 right now. Just a matter of do you want to take the risk at some of these levels? So we'll wait to go right now, 93 and change. As FRC just bounced again off that 38.50 level, back to 39.50. Amazon, I don't know. I don't really want to take this long. We just sort of got burned on Google there. Not burned, but we did take an L on that. We only have, what's up, Miss Diane there? Reverend Diane, did that just say? I just saw a $2 super chat, which I do not see in our chat. So I don't know, that just showed up there. I don't see any super chats in our chat. I wonder if there is a problem with our chat or something as well. We had some complaints about that. But all right, what else? Arun, your shorts are printing. You don't have any worries about those. Palantir's down to the downside right now. And the TQQ is only 58 cents in the money off of a nice move down.
Yeah, a couple people asking where my target is on AMD. It's going to be that roughly around the 85.50. So you are absolutely right, read them there. It's 85.50-ish, somewhere around there, because keep in mind, 86 was the break point earlier, and where do we stall out? Somewhere below, well, after we broke that 86, we went as low as, what, 85.40? So there's a window, maybe 20, 25 cents between 60 and 40, where I would expect first target to be. So I've got a bid down there. I will adjust it fairly quickly if I start to see that it's hesitating. But we've got a bid down there waiting somewhere in that zone there to make some profit on this one there. So that, if I get that, that'll be about $1.40 something off of this short on the first half. Let's check in on Microsoft. We also got to get targets in on Microsoft because do I have a target? Yeah, I do actually. I put a target down. So I'm putting 257 just in front of 257. There was some hesitation. These charts have too many wicks there. Around 257 is where we were kind of putting in a base this morning. So, you know, we got above that 258, came in through roughly somewhere there. I can remove this now, but roughly somewhere here is where I'm going to target this. We got close. 38, damn, and now we're at 80. Okay. I may have to move this up a little bit, but it's somewhere in that zone is where I'm going to put my first target. Let's see if this futures market can get to 3,900. If we do, then the odds of me getting hit on both of these targets on the down move is very high. If futures market comes back up, probably above 15, I'm probably going to have to move the targets and get half of it out a little bit higher than I would like. But for now, we're just waiting this one out as the market accelerates. 3,900 coming, maybe? We'll find out.
Acceleration. We have a new position right now. It's NVIDIA against your AMD, but we're trading different styles right now. We have a nice little win for us here. Let's just take another piece out at 55 if we can. This is already 1-to-1, man. Our out is 236 on AMD. We took a 24, so right now we're almost 2-to-1 on this, being in the money now 35 cents against a 24-cent hit. So let's go a little bit of bump up here into the mid 50s, just a little bit more into the mid 50s. I'm offering like to save some fees right there on the offer, but it doesn't look like it wants to. Oh, it stopped. Why are you stopping at 52? Like, really, homie? Let's go. One more. Well, there it is. Yes, sir. So good trade so far right there. As we'll go a little bullish now on this market, or not the market, but on NVIDIA. We are now out of half of this. Actually, we're not quite out of half yet. Let's get out of a little bit more here so we can definitely be out of half after this is all said and done right now. There it is. Now we're out of half. So now it's house money, baby, to the upside. So there it is. And I love trading with house money, as all of you should as well. So what I mean by that is we've already taken our profit. We actually just wind up taking 30 cents on more than half of it, or sorry, on about 30% of it, the other 20% out in the 40s. So we've already taken 1-to-1 and a little bit of 1.5-to-1. And now if it breaks down through 36, we can get out of NVIDIA. And again, it's just buying some of these dips that we've already seen break. So, you know, there is a possibility that this breaks again, no problemo. But if the market does bounce right now, maybe, you know, this name wants to run up. So here we go. It's a nice little win for us back on the upside here for NVIDIA. Let's see if it can keep on going, man. It's a trade that I like. Let's just see if it'll print out for us.
Yeah, I'm going through the chat, and this is what sometimes I was just like, damn, we really got to pay attention to this. Chris J mentioned that 3,900 was 35 points higher. That's asking a lot. Issue is contract changed over on Monday. So this is what we got to remember when it comes to futures contracts. Every 3 months, contracts change, right? As of Monday, the front month is now the June contract. So the June contract is actually priced at 39.11, 39.10 by 39.11. Odds are, Chris, you're probably looking at the H contract, which is priced in the 70s. So front month is moved over for volume. All the volume is going to be sitting on the M contract now, which is the June contract. So just be aware of that. Anytime you trade any futures of any sort, whether it's the equity or the indexes, or sorry, the equity or the crude contracts or any of the energy contracts, be aware of the expirations, because obviously the index equities change every 3 months. Crude contracts changes every month to a contract that's 2 months out. And if they do it on a weird day too, it's like the 25th of every month minus 3 business days, unless the 25th falls on a Saturday, at which point it's 4 business, something weird like that. So just be aware of the expiration rules of the contract you are trading, if you are trading the contract. So this always concerns me when people are trading futures or paying attention to futures, that the rollover dates, you got to know them and what you're looking at when it comes to the futures contracts, what date you're looking at.
That's a nice.
And the futures market is bouncing. That means I've got, okay, so I moved the stop up on Microsoft. I don't like this. We should not have caught, damn, I missed this one. Oh, they hit that zone and they hit it really quickly and then bounced right back up. I'm probably gonna have to walk away from Microsoft. This is not what I want to see on Microsoft, especially when it gets to that target and then bounces very, very quickly. And then the other one is AMD. AMD's okay for now, but Microsoft's the concern here because they actually had a chance to get through that 257.5 and they did not, and they bounced very, very quickly. With the futures market coming back in, this could turn into a problem here because remember earlier we saw a decent base, sub 20. And now with them cracking down, I thought they could actually get to 3,900. No, 3,905 is where we're bouncing off of, and back above 20, which means I got to walk away from some of these trades. Yep, there goes Microsoft. I'm out of that one. And then AMD, I think I'm going to, you know what, AMD, I'm going to take some out too. I don't like what's happening here, so we're going to walk away from some of AMD here. I'm going to bid my way out of that one, and we'll come back to it. The target was meant to be close to 85.50, but I'm not going to stay too long with the futures market doing this. There we go. There's an AMD exit as well. And then we'll let the rest go. I'll trail this slowly, the rest of this slowly, and see if we can't lock in the event that it does go down. So now with me getting out, that means I have no more targets on AMD. I got to see how this plays out through the bottom here, through that 85.5, and see if it actually accelerates into the close or it just bounces right back, at which point I'll just walk away.
All right. Wow. As we go, a shout out to Greg in the back. Nice trading today, Mr. Gregory. But there it is right there. We are now only have 20% left of our NVIDIA trade. I mean, it went 5-1. So, I mean, we take that right there, 25 cents worth of risk, 4-1, sorry. We take $1 on that as it bumps up. We get out 237.10 right there. So we go long at 24, out 237.10, but out on the way up. So remember, we're out of half already for about 52, 53s. And then it came into the 80s and 90s, and we took a bunch out ahead of 237. Then it blasted up, and now we're holding only 20% of this trade. So far, so good here on NVIDIA to the upside, sorry, as I hate it when, I mean, again, it's okay because Arun and I obviously are trading different style and he's waiting out for bigger moves and stuff like that. But when he was long and short AMD there, you know, I don't know. Sometimes I don't like to, you know, cheer too much against other positions, but I know that different time frames and different looks on that as well. So we'll just hold that.
Long AMD?
No, I'm long NVIDIA.
Oh.
I know you were short AMD, that's all.
I
think you're out now.
Yeah, I got some of it.
Long, yeah, long,
okay.
Yeah. So, no, I was just talking about, you were sort of long AMD, short AMD, and I was debating going the long there on NVIDIA, so I did wind up doing that. So that's all. But okay, that came back in, and that's going to be a good one there. I don't know, man. I don't know what else we really want to look at here, though, as we go, guys. I mean, this market is what it is. I do see that Aaron Rodgers now requesting certain players be on the Jets team, I guess, before he goes ahead and signs there. This guy's too much,
Is
man.
that confirmed? Is he going to go to the Jets?
No, he's not confirming shit because the guy is now coming out and saying he wants Odell Beckham on the Jets. He wants them to sign Alan Lazard, former Packer. He wants them to sign, there's one other receiver as well before he goes over there. Give me a break, bro.
So how do you think the Packers fans are going to feel?
I am the Packers fans.
Okay, so
I own the Packers.
Okay, so how do you and your crew feel about him if he does not get what he wants with the Jets and he stays with the Packers?
Yeah, we want him to get GTFO because the thing is we owe him 120 over 2 years, right? Okay. Plus, if he's going to play like
60 a year?
Yeah.
That's what NFL quarterbacks are making now?
Yeah.
That's the
Patrick
price point?
Mahomes just signed a $500 million deal. Deshaun Watson got $230 million guaranteed. So it is what it is, you know. So I'm working on my arm and stuff like that.
60 mil a year for quarterbacks? I thought it was like in the 40, 45s, but damn, 60.
It was, my friend. Inflation.
Inflation, right?
Right there. Nah, you know what? But I mean, whatever. Aaron Rodgers is, he's an amazing quarterback, but he hasn't won for us in a long time. So I say hit the road, Jack, and let's see what's going on now. So we'll figure that out. And I don't know what we're going to get as far as draft picks and stuff like that. But all right, so let's just continue to watch out for this FRC right now. Spin it.
Money.
Wow, what?
Money.
Look, everyone's missing Neil. There's no doubt about that. But some of the trades, I don't know if you're good luck beside me here or not, but this has been a nice little move right now for me here today. We're doing damage. You guys, like yesterday, I'm almost up double what I was down yesterday. So just in case we were wondering if we were okay from yesterday. Yeah, we aight. What's up, Brandon?
A couple of interesting notes. KRBP, first off, little low float name that got going yesterday. This is 986,000 shares. So 60%. Just took out day highs there on a huge pop. Apparently, Carl Icahn also just saying that he is now net short the market on CNBC.
All right.
Who was that?
Carl
Icahn.
Icahn.
Oh, Carl, Uncle Carl. This guy's a joker. Not a joke. I like the guy. I still can't remember when he was on there with Bill Ackman over
that was
Herbalife.
great.
That was great.
that was
try to Google
amazing
that.
TV. Yeah,
That's
you guys
what I was going to
should
say. If you
YouTube
have
that.
never seen it, man, hit that up. That was at our old office, and I was just like, man, this is like the best drama of all time. They should do like a Netflix thing on. Maybe they will at some point do that. But that was great. If you guys ever have a chance to see it. All right. Yeah, not much else going on there. Shout out to Greg for some great trading back there on the floor. And then other than that. There it is right there. All right, so let's go. All right. NVIDIA back up a little bit right now. I'm still watching out for that. Realistically, FRC is now making that move down, so we're really happy about that trading on FRC. Back down to 38 right now at virtually day's low. I mean, the day's low is 37.20, but we're banging our head right now against it. So let's see if there's anything to happen right there with FRC and a possible continuation downside, breaking lower. But what a great day this is today. Again, as I try to get something under my eye. But yeah, good job today. I hope that a lot of you stayed safe in some of these crazy moves. But today was a good one. It all started early. If you guys were wondering, does Sean trade the futures? I know I got Arun right beside me, but yes, to answer your question, I will put on some trades like that, but I'll choose the equity side more than just the future side itself. And there I is frozen again. There's something wrong, obviously, with my platform, so I'm going to have to figure that out afterwards. But there it is again on the TQQ. Take that bottom there on the CPI number. Take it all the way. A couple outs right there. We don't have anything at the top, which sucks. We'll wait to see if that's better right now. Just take it. I got to tell our guy here that I just froze again.
Yeah. This market hasn't done a whole lot. What do we do in the meantime? We wait and watch how Sean's an FRC, but damn Wall. It's what we were looking at this earlier, and these are the times where you go back, you're like, man, I should just pay for the shares. At least I tell myself that, because I sent the order out and then I was just like, you know what? I sent the order out. The order got rejected because we didn't have shares and we had to pay for them. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. And I walked away from it. It was against 40. And Wall remember there was a trend line on Wall we were looking at earlier, the 5-minute trend line. Can I put that in? Yeah, it was right here. It was that through there. And it just came down, bounce, and then when they finally took that 36 for like the third time, and they broke the trend line this time with it, man, it was wide open. And this is what you're going to get in names like this, where it gets hot, you pay attention to it, and then it goes quiet, and then you lose track of it, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you're like, wait, when did this fall like $15? Well, I think what you have to do is essentially just set the alerts out, and everyone has a different platform, so different systems for setting alerts, however you want to set it. I use eSignal here. If you're using our internal platform, there's a way to set alerts on an internal platform as well. Neil uses that. So however you go about it, I think setting alerts so you're aware of what's going on in stocks that are of interest to you, I think is always the way to go, instead of just having like 10 different charts up and then trying to figure out what's happening on each of those charts. That's a lot. So on my screen here, this main screen is my trading screen. Well, it's my positions that I'm in currently screen. So I have about four windows, one futures on the side there. And then off the other screens I have here are all just like screeners, and it's not really charts per se, but they are like chart related items like screeners, watch lists, stuff like that. So I'm really focused on just what I have in front of me. I don't want to put, I know some people love like putting 10 different charts up on 2 monitors, which is like, how do you see those charts? I'd rather have quality charts versus a ton of charts. So this is kind of my setup, and at least this way, having the alerts combined with just a few charts, I think it's just more streamlined and easier to see. And damn, Wall is falling off here. And mind you, this bounced all the way from $8, $7.50 something, all the way up to $40, and now we're at 25. So clearly quite the ride here on Wall. FRC as well. I know, Sean, you're still in FRC. Yeah. 41.75 on the short side. That's at 38.70. It's also trending down after rejecting off those 50 even levels. And 50 even was an issue from this morning, right? We hit it once, hit it twice, hit it 3 times, or got close to it. What I mean, yeah, we got fairly close, like 20 cents away from it. And then we just cracked through the 44s. Yeah, we just hit the, it could have been the spread, yeah. And then we cracked through 44 and then wide open to the downside to 38. But I don't know, I see this chart and I see Wall. I'm like, Wall's the better chart just because the trend is so clean to the downside. So keep an eye on this, guys. This is going to be interesting. It's going to provide opportunities. If it was only to the buy side, this would have been great because I wouldn't have had to pay for the shorts. But here we are, Wall, 25 and change, maybe 25 incoming fairly soon. Oh, there's 25 right there. Let's see how far it wants to go into the close. We saw some crazy action in the last little bit. Whereas right into the close, there's some crazy movement. Let's see if we get that today on Wall as well.
Yeah, Brendan just updated. It's actually, Arun, it's actually a buy imbalance today of $326 million. Some water there. Normally we can do that, but the voice cracked there at the end. Man, all right. Yeah, Bang is heading against 34 right now. We're $4 in the money on FRC. So, you know, small paper cuts, boom, to the downside. Let's see if it can continue to go. Hopefully it does, and maybe we get out at 30 at the end of said day. That would be nice if that's possible, and we'll see if we can do that. I don't know. We'll just see where we go from here on Wall, on Wall as well. I'm talking about FRC, but if Wall continues to go down too, as some of these banks just continue to break, that bottom was just respected at 37.25. So, you know, what was a couple scalps out. Again, I'm holding these things. Like I'm trying to hold for bigger moves, and you guys have seen me do that now. So far, so good. Death by 1,000 cuts. Yeah, you're right there. Beat Fanatic. Shout out to you, my friend, as you're on the show one more time here. Look at NVIDIA, still $1 in the, or well, around $1 in the money, 70 cents in the money right now on NVIDIA, and still trying to go a little. Yes, sir. Now it's $1 in the money. Hit the alarm right now because we on one more time here today. Great day to trade. Great. I mean, whatever. Let's just go over to Brendan at the desk, and we'll come back with only a half hour left.
Yeah, 30 minutes to go, under 30 minutes to go here, guys. Left in what is turning out to be a positive session. Great to see everyone with us. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you take a sec. Hit the like, guys, and subscribe if you have not. Good to see great numbers past couple of days as far as watchers. AIMD, one we mentioned this morning, pretty boring trade, really. It comes down to 118, 120, ends up just chilling out there all day long. If you missed it this morning, that was the news research pack for them. It's a little biopharma stock. So AIMD, $1.20 up 65% on the day. Obviously, everyone looking for FRC. Downside again here late in the day if you zoom in a little bit on this chart. We're right back to basically the high yesterday or over the past couple of days. Important levels here for FRC if it's going to hold up at all. AMLX, same story. Bit of a fade today, comes all the way back into 34 even actually, before holding on to that. ALS drug sales topping expectations for Amylyx. That was out this morning. We were watching these crypto names as well with another decent move for crypto this morning, still holding on to decent gains so far today. My chart not working. Mara back downside though so far today. RIOT, another one back downside so far today. Coin as well. It's been a similar story. Some of the AI stocks popped up initially this morning and have done nothing but just fade all day long. This is a daily chart. You can see gap above $22 here for really C3 AI, but no such luck. There we go. That's the gap right there I was talking about. We hit that high from a couple days ago and then just straight downside all day long. So even the AI names gave it up late in the day, guys. Back over to you.
All right. I was just typing about NVIDIA here. We're going to tweet this out pretty soon, but you're coming right up here. Wow, now we're $1 in the money and really starting to rip upside, 238 maybe as a level of concern right now. But I mean, we're just bouncing off the 50 period. We can respect some of our lines if we want to and get another piece out here at 237.35. I think we'll do that. Again, we draw these lines for a reason. I'm going to sneeze in about a second here. Let's just put it at 25. Hopefully we can get filled right there. We're just seconds away from grabbing. Maybe if I do sneeze, then it will project. Hopefully it doesn't project like that, but we'll go on to this. We'll make NVIDIA go up. I don't know how that's going to be possible. Now trading at the NASDAQ servers in New York. But right there we'll see, or Jersey, I guess. There it is. Yes, sir. There it is right now. No sneeze, no problem. As there goes NVIDIA up a nice little dollar right there. We will take it out as that's a good trade. NVIDIA on the long side, blasting up my rankings right here. And again, just trying to hold more, man, and that's exactly what we did. It's a nice little move right there for NVIDIA back up to the upside, taking a piece out right now at the 50 period.
All right. Buy imbalance to start going to the close there. I think it's also,
that's what they said.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see a market like this that, especially when it comes out of a number that people have been waiting for. To see the imbalances coming out of that, it's going to be very interesting to see whether it actually pushes the market in the buy side or not, because this market is responding. I mean, they try to go through those 10s again for a second time, couldn't get through it. Here we are to the upside. By the way, Wall's halted to the downside now. We went through that 25, and now we're down to 23.64 is where we halted. We're still looking to make a move. I'm still short AMD, but again, trail stops on this. Remember, we got some of this out at 86. So that locked in about $1.90 something cents. And then I think if we go up another 20 cents or so, I'll just walk away from it, take my remaining 25, 30 cents or so, and call it a day on AMD. And I'm pretty much done. This is too late for me to get involved in anything new. So I'm pretty much done for the most part. A couple questions there. Regarding imbalances, there was from Danny Denny. Does the imbalance to the buy side mean that they need to be bought that much to balance out, or that needs to be sold to match over the purchase buy side? Okay, so imbalances mean that's how many shares, when you get into the end of the day, specifically 350, what you have for us at least is something called an imbalance locator, which shows you everyone who's sending orders with the specific order tag called an on-close order tag. All of those shares get added together, and those need to be executed on the official closing price from the market maker or the specialist, right? So whatever direction all of those orders, some people said buy on close, some people said sell on close, whatever the direction which is larger in the imbalance is posted at 350 across the board, across all the exchanges, right? From NASDAQ to New York to even Toronto here on the TSX. Using that information at 350, you then keep an eye on the ones that are abnormally large. So if there's a very large imbalance on, say, Meta, for example, because this had a crazy day today. At 355, there's an update that comes in from the floor of the exchanges, which includes their interest in the name. Remember, the 350 is the initial release. The 355 now includes broker interest from their clients and who they represent. So there's a change in the numbers. So Meta can come out 5 million shares to buy, and then after 355, it could be 10 million shares to buy. So that means they're also interested in buying the shares up. Now, taking that number after 355, you take it right into the end of the day. Those shares, because it's a buy imbalance, it's going to put pressure on the name to go up as long as it's large enough relative to the stock's weight. So something like Meta that looks like this, a couple million shares, it's done 35 million shares on the day. A couple million shares, you give me a 10 million share imbalance, this stock is moving. After 355, it's going to put pressure on the name because they got to get those shares done to execute on the close, right? So a lot of what ends up happening with the algo stepping in, you start to see runs in one direction if the imbalance is large enough. The issue here is it's never that clear because there's always people willing to offset that as we get closer to the end of the day. They're trying to get out in front of it. They're trying to get a higher price. They want it to go short all day. They see this buying. They're going to get some short shares going right into the end, or however they want. Maybe they want to execute the shorts on the closing price, whatever it is, right? So it's keep an eye on the size of the imbalance relative to the stock's level 2 and how much volume it's done. But then that imbalance also has a stick from 350 to 355, and then pretty much still be there around 359 as we get into the final minute, because that's when a lot of people send orders to offset. So more often than not, these imbalances disappear by the time we get to 359.30-ish. If it's still there afterwards, odds are it will move the stock, and then the official print will be a little bit different from what you would last see at, like, say, 359.59. So that's kind of the influence you're going to see. And for us on our board here, it looks something like this. You have the symbol, you have the direction of the imbalance, you have the size, and I put up something called the paired volume. That tells me when you add the size and the paired volume together, that's how big the imbalance was at one point. But now they've already offset, so they've paired some of it. And this is how much it's left. This is from this morning, so we'll just take a quick look at this. VLTA had an imbalance to the buy side of 825,000 shares. So that's the opening print, the opening buy imbalance. So that would have been executed when New York opens its books for the first time at 9:30 or just after 9:30. And from there on out, that's dealt with and they move on. So that same kind of concept happens at the end of the day as well at 4 o'clock. NASDAQ executes their orders, their official prints at 4 o'clock exactly. New York, depending on the interest in the name, how the specialist is going to figure out what to do with all of the orders that have come through, it could execute within the 20 seconds after it closes, or it could take a few minutes to execute the official closing price. But that's something we're looking forward to in about 10 minutes or so. And in the meantime, we'll go to Brendan.
Just watch some of the crypto names, seeing a little bit of a move to the downside here for cryptocurrencies. Coinbase still holding on to a nice day. 4.3% on the day overall, but that's Ethereum, or that's Bitcoin actually, right now. So back below 24,500 there very briefly. Ethereum, same story, trying to make a move downside here for crypto late in the day, guys.
Okay, interesting move there. We can maybe look at some Coinbase. I mean, I was talking about NVIDIA before, and, you know, thinking about, you know, AI names and stuff like that, and they are also a crypto name for mining, but again, I don't know how hot mining is right now. I haven't heard anybody really talking about it, as some of the GPUs are pretty expensive right there. But here we go. Fahad, if we can go, yeah, there we go. Thank you, man. 238 right there. We just bounced off of that. So, you know, possible potential here for me to get out if we get up to 238, but now we only have 10% left of this. And we got a grade out there at 237.30 or 25. That's why I was sort of cheering for that play. That was a good one for us. And again, what I've tried to do now is try to hold whenever we make plays like this. If we can hold back to like the 50 period, then that's something that we want to try to do a little bit better on, and that's what we did right there. So that's going to be a good trade there for us. Just reviewing some other things right now. FRC just touched 37 again. I don't know, man. Timber is its name-o, as it just continues to make a move to the downside right now. But I mean, we could look at some other names. The only losing name that we have on, and someone said in the chat, oh, well, you know, Sean has all these winners, but he lost on BAC. Yep. Nudge down, toilet for BAC. And there it is, man, just straight to the downside. Unfortunately, it does not hold 29. And this is what we did. Like, look, I cannot be in here trading for you guys and being open and honest about all the trades and not talk about ones that we've lost on. We do it every single day when we do our trade recaps, things like that. We can even do losing trades as trades of the day. And, you know, what did I learn on this? You know, realistically, we always play off 30 levels, so I think I could have got out of the way when we broke through 30 there, but at the same time, I did want to play BAC back, you know, into some of these levels from yesterday, especially we talked about yesterday. I mean, yesterday's close is right where we are right now. So, you know, normally this, like, I feel a lot better losing right now if we were to go long, because at least I have an out right there. The problem was I kind of got stuck in here when it came back in, and then it just broke through 50 pretty violently. That's where we really realized that we were, I mean, first of all, long and out, but then we tried the long again against 50, and that's when this broke, where we were like, okay, that's a problem. And then trying it again at 29, it's just, when things don't work, we don't need to keep going back to the well. So the only thing I should have learned was when we made a mistake the first time, maybe the second time if we don't catch it, but a loss there on BAC, and I was going to say, like, I apologize, but I don't really. I mean, we can't go long and be right on everything every single day. I mean, now our big trade is NVIDIA, and that's a great long. I mean, now we're $1.50, $1.60, 70 now in the money for this NVIDIA trade. You know, so like we've made, anyway, it doesn't matter. I think we just did a good job there of discussing, you know, what we're doing here every single day. AMC, again, another trade. You know, boom. I mean, what else are we talking about? TQQ, Palantir. Oh, yeah, Palantir, we just got out. So here's another trade here that we put on. I mean, you can see all the names as they flash through the bottom. We don't put all the names on here, but I've only traded today AMC, Amazon, BAC, FRC, Google, NVIDIA, Palantir, and the futures. And then there's our Palantir trade. No ticks higher than where we're in. So obviously that's going to be a good trade for us. AMC, what else didn't I review yet? Amazon, I mean, that's... Actually, Amazon's flat for me today. I mean, we're up a little bit, but flat. We did have a good bottom there, and then we lost a little bit there. Actually, Amazon's fine. We took a little bit too much there. But yeah, other than that, everything's been pretty good today. Like I said, we're not quite up double, but it's close to being up double what we were down yesterday. So, you know, a good day here. We've had one red day in March, and that was yesterday. So hopefully that can continue that streak, and we'll just see what happens right now. Uber, oil down right now as we've closed in the electronic. Now we're only electronic trading. Closed on the floor. You can see some volume coming in right there on the close at 1:30, 2:30 on CME time, or our time, CME. But right there, down 4.5% oil today. Nasty. XOM already made year highs and all-time highs about a month ago.
Yeah, crude, not as bad as it was before. And overall, when it comes to trading, obviously today was ebbs and flows in the market, right? And some days it's easy, some days it's not. Yesterday was not easy. It was messy. And then today overall, it was a little bit easier. Why? Because once you got in long, it was easy to kind of just follow the trend. And then once the trend turned, it was easy to follow the short. You don't get situations like this all the time. So when you do get them, you do have to capitalize them on it. And in this situation where it was like yesterday, it was just all over the place, right? It was like waves of selling, then buying, all of a sudden it just turns on you. So it does come with it. So just be aware that like losing's part of the game and you can't avoid it. If you're always hitting perfect, it's odds are you're not always hitting perfect. So when it does happen, when things go well, take it, but just don't be surprised if it ever turns on you at some point. So here we are with the market coming back in. AMD, damn AMD. Okay, so I'm gonna have to walk away from AMD fairly soon. I guess I won't get a chance to look at the imbalances on AMD. I probably don't want to anyways if there's a buy side imbalance to the upside. But we got some out at 86, so that locked in something. And now we're gonna lock in another, or about 25, somewhere between 25 and 30, depending on how the fill goes, on the rest of this on AMD. As they go into the end, what do we got? Great exits on Microsoft futures market back towards the highs, not highs, but like back towards the high from about just before 3 o'clock here, around 35. Remember, this is where we rejected a couple times before we made that break towards 3,900 and then bounced all the way back. Now it's starting to get messy. It was easy money earlier if you were long, and then easy money if you were short. And now it's just where it's just starting to move like 20 points, go 20 points down, 15 points up, 20 points down, actually 30 points down, and then all the way back up. It's starting to get messy. Good thing it's the end of the day because we don't want to do anything with this as it gets this messy. Brennan.
One name notably weak here, guys, maybe put on the list for tomorrow, right at day lows, in fact, XPeng. I was noticing a lot of the Chinese ADRs down throughout the day anyways on fears over this SVB collapse. There was a lot of talk regarding some of these having funds in the US in some of these banks as well, so heads up. There was also this note on XPeng. Yeah, they're going to get into, what was that other company? eHang has the flying car. So XPeng getting into their territory here with this thing. Going to make a flying car for XPEV.
It's so cool, but
I'm selling that news.
Given how like drones are already messing up the skies, I'm just very curious how flying cars are going to go.
It's never going to get approved. You can't just start flying a car around. Like, you know, the airspace unfortunately is regulated, and you know, I mean, I don't know, I'm flying a car around, you're flying a car around, I put my turning signal on, you have your turning signal on.
Who gets right away? We need like
You know
signals
what I'm
in
saying?
the sky.
So,
It gets
anyways.
messy.
Gets messy up there, but yeah, Ehang, what's up, man? J&J popping, all right. We can definitely have a look at that, but look what's happening right now, man. We're just gonna go, oh my God.
Oh my God.
And I want to thank everybody for all the kind words there in the chat. I mean, those of you that have been watching us for long enough know exactly what we're talking about when we talk about our wins, losses, and all those ratios and everything like that, man. We're just here to be traders and to show you what's good and that there is a possibility here to make a heck of a lot of money or lose a heck of a lot of money in this market. But risk management is what it's all about. With only a minute to go here, Arun, we're getting very, very close to those imbalances that you've so eloquently described once again for us today. We're just going to wait to see. I feel like this is danger for us. We're going to get out if we break through 49.50 right now on NVIDIA. That's sort of the 50 period. We've already sort of reached that level. We bounced off of it a couple times right now. We're $2 in the money, or $1.80 in the money on NVIDIA right now. We're $2 in the money on FRC, and guess what, guys? Unfortunately, that bounced dead on 37 again. That sucks. So this is, you know, not a great way to end the day here on this retracement, completely back up to the upside right there. Congratulations, anybody that played off that bottom. It actually broke that, but then it held 37. Got as low as 36.80 right there. Should have got out once it took 37 again, but we didn't, so we're still in this until we break above 42. Looking for our last trade with only 10 seconds to go here. I guess let's just watch NVIDIA. FRC shouldn't really move on that. Here we go. It's NVIDIA time as we only have 3 seconds, 2 and 1. Aight, NVIDIA, let's go, man. Awesome. Huge move to the upside right there. Buy Amazon, buy Microsoft, buy Google right now. Watch what this did to Microsoft, just for example. Boom, up to 260, nice little move there. On the high side, Apple with the bid. There we go, man. The market should be flying right now one more time as this is going to the upside. I don't know, man. I'm going to cancel my stop order and just let this thing fly as it seemed to be pretty good to go now on NVIDIA, guys.
Yeah, I guess it was a buy imbalance. It was a decent buy imbalance. I don't know the official number here. Can I find it? 4.4 billion to buy.
What?
Thank you. Okay. To the upside we go with the $4.4 billion buy imbalance. That's unusually large, but wait till Friday. If you think that's big, just wait till Friday.
You know what, though?
Because that will be bigger. I mean, compared to a normal day like today, it's bound to be bigger.
I feel like the last couple of rebalances,
they have gotten smaller.
Yeah.
Because they're being smarter with it. The imbalances have been, the rebalances have been big like years and years ago, but over the years they have started getting smaller just because they're being smarter.
What a way to end this.
Yeah, they're not waiting right until the end of the quarter or the expiration date to deal with it. They're doing it throughout the month. Or whatever. So the rebalances have gotten smaller as the years have gone by. Let's take a quick look at the rebalances. What do we got here? BG, 4 billion. Wow, BG, what is this? What is this now? 106. Oh, that's one to watch for sure. Well, that's a big imbalance for Bungie.
Yep, I was gonna say that's Bungie.
Yeah, $106. This stock cannot handle a 4 billion share imbalance, a 4 million share imbalance. Let's see, and because there's a lot of paired volume as well, so you're sitting nearly 9 million shares on the imbalance with 3.6 left on the table. So I want to see what happens at 355 because this could be a very interesting one to watch if this sticks around after 355 because this stock cannot handle this kind of imbalance going into the end of the day. Brennan.
You were speaking of Friday. This is the one I mentioned this morning, guys. BG going into the S&P 500 on said Friday. So maybe getting a head start on some of that buying.
Head start on some of the buying and oversubscribed, dare I say. It's on the sell side of roughly 4 million shares. So it's supposed to be bought and they're getting in front of that to sell it, looks like. So I wonder if it's a buy on Friday or it's being included into the S&P 500 on Friday and it's a sell imbalance today, I wonder if it's going to be a sell imbalance on Friday as well as too many people are already in front of this. Because remember, you're aware of when these stocks are supposed to be in the S&P 500 a month and a half or 2 months in advance.
Yes.
So as soon as that news comes out, I wouldn't be surprised if people are buying it for this specific appreciation. And as it gets into the time where it needs to be added, they're selling into it. And that's when you have expected action like, oh, buy imbalance because it's being included. All of a sudden, why is it a sell? Because it's supposed to be included in the index. Well, because the people could have already purchased it well in advance and are starting to dump it going into the Friday that they're expected to do this action. So Bungie sell side imbalance of 4 million shares. If it's expected to be buy, let's see if it actually sticks around. There is a possibility that at 355, this gets to a point where it doesn't even matter anymore. So unusual paired volume says there's interest. Now we know why. Let's see if it sticks around in about a minute and a half to the upside. LUMN, BAC, to the buy side, 1.6 million shares. BAC doesn't really matter. Uber's one to watch. Let's see Uber's book here. 28 million shares, 1.3 to buy, 1.3 to sell. Probably not much. It hasn't done. It's shown you that it can handle the volume. So I think we just wait on that one. I think the big one to watch is BG. Brennan?
Here's another one that's going to be active at the end of the week here. PODD popping up at day highs even, 2 days in a row here to the upside. This one is the one that's going to replace SVB Financial in the S&P 500 as of Friday.
This was on my alert scanner this morning. The alert actually went off and I chose not to trade it because there was next to no volume on it. PODD, right?
Yes. That's interesting because SIVB.
It's done 3.4 million shares, but the spread is like 70 cents. When I was looking at it this morning, I was like, no, I can't. The alert did go off because usually when I have alerts, I don't look at the level 2 until it's time to. And it was just one of those things where it's just like, one to watch, but it's going to be more volatile going into Friday as well. Brennan?
Quick correction on that. Sorry, guys. It's prior to the market open tomorrow. So PODD going into the S&P 500, March 15th.
All right, so
today.
That's a little spicy meatball.
Yeah, that could show up at 355 actually. Interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
That could be a good one.
Yeah,
actually.
if it shows up.
I like that play. Okay, so we're going to wait to see what happens now with that. Yeah, good call. Thanks, Brendo, for all that. I mean, that's what we want. That's what we want, right? We want to get that information to see what's happening. But all right, so right there, guys, just pretty quickly, that's FRC. I got to get out of this, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to put a bid right now and then just cancel this one, get out of it, and then wipe it out. But it's still a good trade. We'll see if we can take $2 or so on that. And then, by the way, we did get out of our NVIDIA just right here. At 239, it was 238.85 for $2.50 of a win right there as we get ready for the close here today. Nice move there. Now we're blasting even higher on NVIDIA. Wow, cannot believe. I mean, I can believe it. But there it is, man, off that support. Great trade to end the day. I mean, I hope that some of you had that, and if not, we'll be more tomorrow. Make sure you hit the like button. I mean, how many likes do we even have? I mean, all these, honestly, AMC and then everything, that's 850 likes. I don't know. Maybe I'd be sick tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe they don't like the show. Yeah, guys, please hit the like button if you can on that one. That's pretty low right there. I got Arun in the building. Come on, we want more Arun, not less Arun. Let's get those like buttons upside a little bit on that. We are waiting for our FRC right now. Again, just bidding right down here. 39.40s. Okay. All right. Just bounced off us. That's where I'm bidding. So hopefully we do get that move coming back in there for FRC. And then just one last check out on, I mean, NVIDIA is just an absolute monster right now. We'll try to watch out for that tomorrow for FOMC. For NVIDIA, which is just, I'm like, lost for words. I mean, we were just long at 236 and we put on a decent position and it just looks silly now that we took $1 and then $2 as right now it's just hit $4 in the money there as well. NVIDIA really getting excited there. Remember this morning what we said? What was on the imbalances this morning? All buys. NASDAQ ending the day up 2.2%. S&P ending the day up 1.6%. Brendan will review all of that in just a matter of minutes. So yeah, man, what a great day here. And I just want to thank everybody for watching. We've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm looking at these imbalances. Obviously, you guys are talking about Meta taking off. Meta almost at 194 now.
Wow, that's higher than what it was before. 197, I think, is the high.
Yeah. Was it? No. Today, you mean?
No, just off that earnings where they went crazy there off earnings. I think it was
Meta making its move back towards its high,
daily.
cracking that 194. No, this is just today, though.
That's just today. Okay.
194 after bouncing off of that 190. Everything turned at 330, or roughly 330. Futures market turned at 330. That's usually when programs kick in for the close, and clearly the buy programs were on deck here, running to the upside. But I'm still paying attention to BG here. Still here, 3 million shares, 9 million paired. So they're offsetting everything that's coming here, and they still got more to sell. Now the total imbalance sits at about 12.5 million shares, with 9 already paired off, and you're starting to see some of this influence. Let's see in the next minute or so if this sticks around. I think BG would be one to watch definitely. I don't trade these, not anymore, anyways. I used to, but. I would keep an eye on this one because this is unusual. You know the action, and they're willing to take everything that's being thrown at it on the sell side here because they're pairing it off, and it's still at about 3 million shares. If it sticks around after in about 30 seconds or so, if it's still there, I think it's going to be one to definitely watch as we make a move on BG to the end. And then PODD, I've got this here. I don't see the amounts on it, but there's supposed to be some index action before tomorrow's open. So let's see if there's movement here, late move on PODD. There you go, 1.5 now on BG.
Only 30 seconds,
1.1, 1.2, they're still taking it. Okay, wow. I'm very surprised that it's still here this late into the day. And there you go, there's a pressure on BG to the downside. They crack 105 all the way down to 104.60, and they're starting to disappear now. Oh, it's gone, it's right here, 600, 800. All right. We'll keep an eye on this one, but you see the pressure on BG's chart as we get into the end of the day.
All right, here we go, guys. There's only 10 seconds left, man. What a great day it was. We just got out of our TQQ at pretty much at the day's high again, as well as we, irresponsibly hold that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I was always wondering why there's a Lysol thing, and he always shows the Lysol. I'm wondering if that's going to be a new sponsor for us here at Trader TV Live. Thank you, my guy, right there, Fahad, coming through again for what a great day that was. Holy crap. We almost doubled our net from yesterday's loss, which was pretty good. There's that out on the TQQ that we talked about, just ripping there. From there to there, ends the day. So finally, I hold a trade from 8:30 to 4 o'clock. So there it is. We finally hold that all damn day to get a piece out there at the end where we should have got out in the first place when it broke right there. I think it was right there is where we probably should have got out when we finally broke that 200 period back down to the downside. I mean, we broke it a little bit there, but there it is right there. Finally held the whole day, our TQQ. That's the futures trade. So follow me on Twitter at TraderTV. Sean, as we're getting close to 40, we're only about 100 away from 40,000. So I want to thank everybody for following me. And I'll put up the charts again today. So, all right, Brendan, 4.4 billion to buy. Really sent this market for a spot right back up to day's high. What an incredible run there in the last half hour.
Yeah, nice look into the close here. Buying across the board, 2.3 when all is said and done, 2.36 even for the NASDAQ, 1.72 for the S&P 500. The Dow lags a bit, but it's been doing that lately. 3% meanwhile for crude, as we were saying on those Russian headlines that came through just before we came on at 2 o'clock. Bitcoin and Ethereum nicely positive on top of, remember what happened yesterday for crypto, guys. I mean, crypto's 24 hours, so, you know.
All right. I guess it's waiting on us. But yeah, it's been a crazy day. And all of this came in.
I can't see that screen. I thought it was on Brendan still. I'm just like.
It's the 3-person on the side, which is different.
Yeah, I can't see that side, so my bad on that one.
So yeah. So it's been a great market, obviously. There's 2 days now where we've had some crazy movement. It was quiet to start the day, but clearly we accelerated just after noon, and then right at the end there, in the final half hour, crazy move up as the programs kicked in, and we just went straight up from, about 39.15 all the way up to 39.55. So a 40-point rally in the final half hour to end the day positive, north of 2.25%, 2.25% on the NASDAQ and 1.6 on the S&P as of right now. You know this kind of excitement is not done. We've still got rebalances on Friday. We've got some PPI numbers. whether it does something or not is just something to watch, right? This market cares about everything now, so let's just watch that and see if there's something to be done with that as well. We saw what CPI did today. It was a big wash, up and down, and then eventually we tracked up. So there's going to be opportunities. Definitely come back tomorrow. We'll be here. I'll be here. Sean will be here. We're going to find some new trades. Definitely, and there's more opportunities.
Someone just sprayed some cologne or something.
That's
that?
yeah.
Like, what is it? Like, the trading's done, it's like off to the bar, trying to spray some cologne?
Yeah, man.
Or something? Is that what it is? Is that what you do?
No, I go straight home.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm just saying, these guys are young. They got to go out and, explore what's
Don't
around.
spray so much, man. That was strong that time there. We'll have to find out who the culprit is of that one. But we did get out of FRC right there on that 40 level that you guys, in case you were wondering, I just want to talk about this because it's going back up to the upside right here in the aftermarket. But once again, man, thank you to everybody for watching again today. A big show. Want to thank Arun there. Throw some ones in the chat for my guy Arun right now. Thank you again for that. Big time today. And then I guess tomorrow, Brendan, we just wait for the number and then we see where we go.
Yeah, PPI not, as closely watched as CPI, but still going to be an inflation print. I can smell that from here, so I don't know what's going on back there.
Keep in mind retail sales as well,
right,
on top of the PPI.
I'm looking at you, Stephanie. I see you back over there.
Yeah, Sean's giving flack to everyone.
That's
But
a
anyways,
lot.
guys, thank
That's
you
a
guys
lot.
for watching today. We'll see
Someone
you.
just went nuts on Axe or something like that in here right now.
You want to close it out?
No, you close it out. You close it out.
Okay, thank you guys for watching. It was a great trading day today. Be back tomorrow, 8:30, back to normal time. We've got a couple numbers out. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Peace.